Welcome to Puro, Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza, and tonight I'm joined by my elite panel of Jeffrey D. Lujan, as in, damn it, Jeff. How did you take a photo with CP3 and still insult him at the same time? Professor Alex Cruz and Sugar J. Parker. How's it going, guys?
What's up, boys?
Good.
Good.
Good to see y'all. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
In a minute. Tell us about your adventures, Jeff. Last 3 weeks, you've been traveling the world with CP3. I want to know more about it.
So we got sick and all that. But yeah, so we had planned, my buddy wanted to go to LA. He has his brother-in-law lives out there. And I guess he always goes with the kids, and we went for the Spurs game, but we made a weekend out of it. We were going to do Universal, and luckily that was still open, right? It closed for 2 days. But yeah, unfortunately that the Spurs game got canceled because, JJ Redick's a little girl crying and stuff. But yeah, I don't know why the games got canceled Saturday. They played last night, and I guess that's why JJ was crying. He was scared of Wemby. But yeah, so we still went to the Staples Center, but it was weird, I guess, because of the fires and stuff. I mean, the fires are like north west, right? But like LA's still cool. LA's fine. The airport's still open. But of course, as you get more north, it gets more like, especially the first day we were there, more ashy. Even when we got the airport, you could like that. It was still bad. Like there was ash, and it depends on which way the wind's blowing. So when we were supposed to be at the game on Saturday, we went to go check it out because they have it like the big cities, right? Where like the stadium's right there, and then there's bars and there's restaurants, like all right there. It's all like a big center. They even had like an ice skating rink, but it was already over. And then, like even the bar, like the guy we were with, he was like, I've never seen it this dead. But like there were a lot of bars and stuff shut down because of the fires in that area. But, I got to see the statues, Shaq, Kobe. I didn't know they had Oscar De La Hoya, Jerry West, so that was pretty cool. And then like right when you turn around the Staples Center, you see the big Ritz and everything. And so like we were like, oh, that's where the visitor team stays, at the Ritz. So we're like, let's go. It was already like 8:00. We're like, let's go have a drink. And yeah, as soon as we walked in, Chris Paul was there with his family. You know what I mean? Like 10 deep, just sitting there like by the bar area. They were eating, I guess, because Chris Paul's from LA, so like they were visiting him. And then on our way out, we were there for like an hour and a half, and on our way out, my buddy, said, "What's up, CP3?" And he was like, "One selfie." So we all got in and got that one selfie with them. It wasn't my decision, but I just jumped in there for the trip.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Did you pee on Kobe's statue?
So I wanted to so bad. There was people smoking right there in front of Kobe's statue, like filming it. Man, you don't know how bad I wanted to. But I couldn't disrespect our host. He's, of course, a big Lakers fan, so I couldn't tell him how much I dislike the Lakers. But I didn't want to piss on it, and I thought it might help the fires, right? Like if you pee on the Kobe statue, maybe the fires would start. I thought that might help, But yeah.
And then if somebody gets mad at you, just say, "I'm trying to protect Kobe."
Yeah.
Just in
But
case they want to
Dousing
come
him.
around.
Yeah, exactly. Keep them wet. But yeah, even at that time when there wasn't that many, I mean, there were people that are like, a handful of people. And then I guess at all times they do have like security guards there while they're, the bars open and everything was happening and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's funny you said that because that's the first thing I told Albert. I was like, I want to go to Kobe statue so I can piss on it. And, man, that's funny you say that. It's hilarious. But yeah, we got to see little CP3. We were hoping to see more people, but Wemby goes to sleep by 9, right? I don't know if that's LA time or SA time. But they were still practicing and they stayed focused because, man, last night was a badass game,
Yeah. Well, that's nice, Jeff. Glad you had fun. Nice, good trip there, man. Trey, what did you do this weekend?
We had our baby shower.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, we had our baby shower on Saturday. We were busy pretty much all day. And then Sunday, we just kind of kicked it. We built his new dresser that we got Jackson because we're moving him to his big boy room already. So yeah, it was just chill weekend. It was busy, but it's chill weekend.
Nice. And Alex, what about you, bro? How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I mean, try to just chill home. I had to, not had to, but I went to my brother-in-law's little birthday party. It was all right, decent. I actually drank. Yeah.
I'm startled that I missed that. Oh my god.
Yeah, the father-in-law busted up, will open a tequila bottle, and you know how our father-in-law doesn't drink. I couldn't disrespect the man, so I took a couple shots with him. By the end of the night, I mean, I drove back home, but I don't
Okay,
think he
don't
made
admit that
it.
here. Come on.
I
What
mean,
the hell?
I was fine, but I don't think our father-in-law made it back to his bed.
Oh no.
Dang.
No Clemente very well. He be
Yeah,
lucky we made it back to the first step.
but he was cool,
Um
man. He was a cool dude.
nice, nice. I just worked. But no, it was not
Hmm.
good. But guys, that's awesome. Good to hear that everyone's at least good and healthy. James was gonna join us tonight, fellas, but his girl's sick, and of course it's best for him to take care of his baby at this time. So best wishes to them. And Marco is traveling for work, but Marco's about to go to the Kansas City game against the Texans this weekend, and
Damn.
that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's a Merry Christmas gift from his girl to him. So hope they enjoy it. Hope for safe travels for them as well. But enough about a sappy talk. Let's talk sports. Let's talk college football because we had some fun games last week. Maybe some upsets for some people, maybe or some real sadness, like especially with the Texas loss. But overall, let's start with the Notre Dame and Penn State game. Jeff, we haven't heard from you for a minute. How are you feeling about Notre Dame's run so far? Were you surprised they were able to beat Penn State in the first place?
I was. They looked impressive the game before, so I thought that was going to be a good game. I know a lot of people thought Penn was going to just run away with it, but man, something about the game before. I forgot who they played. They just looked real
Georgia.
strong. It was Georgia, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, for them to be able to beat Georgia and the way that they beat them, I was convinced, right? Like they were playing with a different kind of energy. I don't know. I just thought, man, if you could beat Georgia, yeah, you could beat Penn State, right? Like was it a fluke or what? But yeah, Notre Dame. I think, man, they're looking good. That coach, he can, yeah. They're up there, right? You wouldn't think that from Notre Dame. They always get close because they're not in the conference, and then they kind of come up short. But if any year is Notre Dame year, I would think it's this year. It's gonna be tough, but they look good.
Trey, the former Notre Dame coach, Brian Kelly, who's now the coach over at LSU, said he left that organization. He left Notre Dame because he didn't think this team could win championships. 3 years later, Marcus, what's his
Freeman.
last name? Freeman.
Freeman.
Coach Freeman is taking Notre Dame to the national championship game. Your thoughts?
Man, I actually like that guy a lot. Watching a lot of his interviews, he's very all about the team. He's not about himself. He'll never claim for himself. I even liked one where they said something about being a black and Asian coach in the championship, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't like it shouldn't matter about race. It should just matter about your character and how you coach and stuff like that. So I really like him. I like what he's doing for the organization. Um, if I'm not mistaken, me and only one other person picked Notre Dame, correct?
Me and you, we both
Yeah.
did. Mhm.
But like Jeff was saying, man, they against Georgia, they went on a tear. They held it down. Georgia is always a pretty good team, um, and they ran all over them. They showed them, you know, good night, love you, baby. They showed them who's boss essentially, and I that's exactly why I picked them. Now Penn State's good, don't get me wrong, but Notre Dame has that momentum right now.
And Alex, how shocking is it for you? You're the college professor here. You're the college football man. You have the knowledge of that many of us don't have. You watch constantly. You keep up with everything. This meteoric rise for Notre Dame, as quick as it's turned around since Brian Kelly left, what does that mean for this? That school for that campus. What does that mean for that
Um,
organization? I should say overall.
I mean, they're a championship. Notre Dame's has that type of like Dallas Cowboys, New England Patriot thing where they're like America's team essentially because what they have done in the past. And it's been a while since they've been here, and I don't know if you guys remember where I would always say like, man, Notre Dame always gets to a level where like they're so good, and then they get to like a primetime game and they choke. and I thought, I mean, it happened last year, and I think it happened at the beginning. No, not they lost to, I think it was Southern or something like that.
There was some weird team this year that they lost to.
Northern
Georgia
and
Southern. Yeah,
Northern.
Northern Illinois. Yeah,
There you go.
and I was like, man, it's all over again. But yeah, it's been a crazy ride for them, and how, like you guys were just saying, they beat Georgia, one of the best schools in the SEC, and I think that was shocking to everybody. And not only that, I think Leonard, what made me pick Penn State's because Leonard's just a fucking another running back playing quarterback. To tell you the truth, and the way they were able to handle Penn, because Penn has a great defense. Their defense is top notch. Not that Notre Dame is not good either, but I thought Penn was going to be able to hold it down because I thought they were going to load the box and stop Love and Leonard, but man, they ran all over them. And then whenever Leonard had to make a throw, he made it. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if you guys saw that. What's the name? Cam Newton talking mess about Notre Dame at the beginning of the college football season or the college playoff. He's like, nobody wants to see Notre Dame in the playoffs, this and that. And now he's kind of backtracking where he's like, well, they need to be in the conference because you guys don't know. I don't know if you guys know this, but they're not in the conference. So now he's kind of backtracking what he said, and like instead of giving him credit, I'll be the first one to say, man, I had not expected it at all. I mean, Marcus Freeman is a great coach. I think James told me if I would be hype if Chicago would have gave him a interview or a shot. I don't think so because he's a good coach, but I think he's more of a locker room guy, and he could coach younger men. And younger men, to me, it'll be harder for NFL guys and grown men to, I guess, respect him a little bit more. Because right now he's won the locker room in Notre Dame, and they'll run through a brick wall for him.
Nice. Jeff, overall, if give it a percentage or a scale of 1 to 10, however you want to do it, what chances do you give Notre Dame to win this national championship game next week?
Oh, I think it's I guess because they're playing a good team, right? So like to me, it's a coin flip, if anything. But yeah, I would not be surprised if Notre Dame wins, right? They beat Georgia, they beat Penn State. That Georgia and Notre Dame game, might have been it, right? I mean, so yeah, I mean, I think, I think they can win it. I mean, they're at that level, they're playing good. I don't know what you want to say at 10. I would say at 8. They got a real good shot to win it.
Nice. Trey, what about yourself? What level? What number?
I'm leaning 50-50.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm leaning 50-50. I agree. I think it is a coin flip, basically. And honestly, I think it's going to depend on who has the ball last, to be completely serious. So.
Nice. All right, well, let's move on to the Ohio State game versus Texas. A disappointment for the home state team there. Of course, but what do you expect when he's playing Jerry's World, bro? I mean, just it happens, He's in attendance, and you just sadly Sark and Quinn Ewers just couldn't overcome what Ohio State was there and had it for them. Alex, I'm gonna start with you, man. Like, what went wrong for Texas?
It was coaching. They got coached big time. As much as Texas fans want to throw a lot of shade to Quentin, they did not help him at all with the play calling at all. I mean, even if you put Arch in there, I think you still have the same thing. Arch is a little bit more mobile, but like there was no way in that strip sack that even Archie would have even saw that because they had everybody blocked. Just that Jack, I call him Jack Sparrow. Just but Jack Sparrow because he was a one man army out there. But he beat his tackle off as soon as the ball was snapped, and the tackle olayed him. Pretty much olay, and he didn't see it coming. And it was strip sack. Not much you could do there if you're quitting. if you know that your offensive tackle's getting beat play after play, why don't you have a running back or a tight end to chip? He was on an island, so I think it was just outcoached.
Trey, how disappointed were you, man? Obviously, you were going for Texas strong. You're looking for the win there. How impressed overall? How disappointed are you with Texas? But how impressed are you with Ohio State?
Well, I'm more disappointed than I'm impressed.
Okay.
The reason I say that is I agree with Alex. It did go back to coaching a pretty good amount. For example, he's talking about that strip sack. Well, the play before that, they were on the 1 yard line. They should have put Arch in. Why not put your mobile quarterback that is a threat in at the 1 yard line with the possibility of running it like a quarterback sneak style, draw, whatever, or boot out, and then he can run it in. Right? Like I'll still never understand. Yes, don't get me wrong. Ohio State played really well. They are a monster of a team. From what I remember, they held that Smith kid down pretty well.
He pretty
If I'm
much
not
was
mistaken.
non-factor. They
That's what I'm
triple teamed him
saying.
at times.
So they did what they needed to do for the most part. It's just the coaching screwed them over.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith, the future Patriot, only went for 1 catch, 3 yards.
Yeah, see, that's
there was pictures of him getting triple teamed. I mean, obviously, Alex's favorite word. They bracketed him. They kept
Again,
him.
they did what they had to do to win the game.
Yeah,
but he's not gonna come up this year. He's still
he's a freshman. He's got 2 more years left to go. Yeah, I said future Patriot. I didn't say today's. Jeff, overall, your feelings on the game, man? If you got the chance to watch it while you were out of town.
Yeah. If you didn't notice, we were flying during the Notre Dame game. But yeah, so my buddy, he's a real big UT fan. So yeah, like we had to cut our day short, right, to watch the game because over there it showed at 4:30 p.m. game, baby. But yeah. So of course, I'm not the biggest UT fan. Of course, I was rooting for them and the Vince Young and all that. But then when UTSA got our team, I kind of went away from UT. But since we were on the trip and stuff, I was like, all right, let's go UT. And then remember, a lot of people thought Ohio State was just going to wax the floor with UT, and I get it, right? They didn't look. They lost to Georgia twice. They didn't look impressive the second time. They barely looked up. They looked bad against ASU. They let them come back, and I don't know. I just thought I told people before the game. I told y'all I thought UT was going to win because sometimes it's like when everybody's doubting you. And, it's almost easier to fucking play, right? And they were right there, right? They should have covered, should have tied the game, go to overtime. And it's hard to blame the coach because the coach had him right there, right? They had him right there. Like, he game planned a real good game plan. But I just think I always say nutted up. He choked in the end. And definitely the coach did at the end. So, I mean, he had it real good. And then the game was on the line right there. And, yeah, it was first down and then second down and go from the 1. They even got that 1 yard with the pass interference, and they're on the damn 1 yard line. And earlier in the game, there was a 4th and 2, and they put in Archie, and he got the first down. So, like, you're on the 1. Ewers isn't the biggest quarterback, so you get him the hell out of there, and you put in Archie to run the quarterback sneak. I guess they didn't want to do that to Ewers. They didn't want to just give Archie. I don't know if that was the reasoning why. Because they didn't want. We have 4 downs to get it with Ewers. I mean, you got when you're on the 1 yard line, you got to punch it in, and they just overthought it. I don't know what they were thinking, and yeah, man, it was heartbreaking from going to being tied to lose by 14, and then it just looked like you got your ass whooped when you didn't. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough because in the moment, I was rooting for UT, hoping they would win for my buddy, and yeah, it was definitely really disappointing. Very.
Yeah. Well, sorry to hear that for your buddy. Well, at least you got to see CP3, right? You got a picture of him. So good things there. All right. So basically next year, obviously before we go into predictions of Ohio State and Notre Dame, next year is Archie time. Archie Manning will probably take over. Quinn Ewers is still indecisive whether he'll declare for the draft or he'll just transfer out. Because I know
he's transferring.
I knew he was transferring. I just didn't know what's he gonna do whether he's gonna transfer or he's just gonna declare. It's I don't know where he thinks the stock is. We saw Carson Beck, transfer out to Miami because he knew that he's basically probably gonna be a day 3 guy.
And he can get paid right now, right, for Miami.
Yeah.
So
he got $4 million. He's getting paid more than most rookies in the NFL right now. So So we'll see how that goes for him. I'm pretty sure college will be as far as Carson Beck goes, but that's okay. He can be a TikTok star with his girlfriend. But Archie Manning is about to take over. Jeff, how do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I feel like, as far as if I was a big UT fan, I would feel very positive. I'm surprised he waited. He waited 2 years, right? He's been on the bench for 2 years, so he was able to develop, get bigger, and yeah, I think he's gonna. Even when he comes in, he's confident. They put him in a lot of situations. He scores touchdowns, so I think it will be a good showing for him for the next. I don't know how long he's gonna do if he plays for 2 years or whatever. I think it's gonna be a good time for UT.
Well, that's all I'm going to ask Alex actually next. Alex, do you think Archie will just be 1 year, or he'll stick around for maybe 2 years, do a full 4-year college ride?
I think you have to stick around for 2 years because, of course, the Mannings are going to be essentially his agents to see where what the draft class lines up with, and then I don't know if you guys remember, but his uncle pretty much told the Chargers that he didn't want to play for them, right? And he got his way into was it the Giants?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's going to be the same thing if the Manning sees that the Raiders are still terrible in 2 years, they're not going to want him to come out. Right now, I mean, there isn't a lot of young talent right now as far as freshmen where they'll be ready to come out that same year. So I feel like Archie should wait 2 years and he could be the top QB of his class.
Okay.
But you know how college is. There's going to be a gym coming out pretty much every year. There's always a gym. Or every 2 years, there's always a young freshman or a young sophomore coming up the ranks. And the transfer portal pretty much helps out everybody. So we'll see. I think he should wait, though, honestly.
Well, makes sense. He doesn't have a full opportunity to start out there, and you don't want to rush yourself and be like Anthony Richardson. Trey, Quentin Ewers in the last 2 years has been able to take Texas to the semifinals or Final Four of the college football playoffs the last 2 years. How far can Archie take him, in your opinion?
All the way, baby. No, he's a pretty talented player, man. He's pretty damn smart, too. He makes some good decisions. I like that Jeff mentioned that 4th and 2. He ended up getting 5 or 6 yards on that 4th and 2, something like that. So I do like his decision making. I do still think he needs to grow because obviously he didn't play a lot.
Yeah.
Which that's going to come with time. And I agree. I think 2 years will be sufficient because he'll have some ups and downs this next year. And then the following year, he should be pretty stout.
Nice.
So I'm excited for him.
Cool. All right. We got some comments here. Milton says, yo, just a fan doing fan things.
What up, Milton?
And he's asking, Trey, what you eating? Buffalo Bites?
I actually get them from Costco. They're chocolate-covered frozen strawberries.
Damn.
We'll call them Buffalo Bites because Buffalo hit on Denver. No.
You know what? You shut your mouth.
Cody's in the house. He says, what it do, yo? He says, Archie would have stole the show if they let it happen.
Mm-hmm. That's what they want to
let it happen.
And he agrees with y'all. 2 years. Let Archie cook for 2 years. Let him develop. I like it. Well, we don't know what teams will be in the lottery in 2 years. And definitely right now, if I was him, I don't want to be in Tennessee. I wouldn't want to be a Raider either, man. So we'll see what goes on. But, there's plenty of time to happen. Who knows? In y'all's opinion, for Archie's sake, let's say 2 years from now, what team is looking for a QB 2 years from now? If you had to think about it real quick.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's literally the exact same thing I was going to say.
Damn.
That's literally exactly who I was thinking of, Alex. I was going to say the Steelers is one.
They don't even know who the quarterback is now.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, they could keep Fields or Wilson for another year and then draft Archie the following.
And then I don't know if you want to throw it out there, but if the Jags keep on messing up, what are they going to do with Trevor Lawrence?
Dude,
Jags.
Get out of my head, Alex. That was the other team I was thinking of, I swear. Because I was like, man, they have Trevor Lawrence, but he hadn't been doing shit, so they may move on.
Crazy thought.
I don't know.
Crazy thought. And I know this might be recency bias. What if, let's say, J.J. McCarthy doesn't pan out for Minnesota?
No.
What if?
No, I don't
Well,
think it's gonna happen.
I'm just saying we don't know. I know he didn't get. He's not the one that showcased last night or
Yeah.
all season long. But by the time, like, let's say this draft comes up, this Archie draft would come up, it would be 3 years into his contract. So what if Minnesota's losing or whatever because they have JJ and they're relying and they swapped around for backups? Who knows? What if? I'm just throwing it out there. What if?
You know one other team?
What's that? The Patriots?
The Saints.
Oh,
That-
no. Okay.
that's who I
gonna
was
say,
thinking.
You say who
The-
I'm thinking right now?
Because
That's-
I was gonna lose my fucking
that's where he played. That's where he played high school ball. That's where most of his family's from.
Well, I was thinking, what if the Giants end up getting that?
Ooh, maybe.
Goes to where his uncle played and won a Super.
I don't know. I feel like honestly with I don't know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, right? Because I was gonna say, well then the Colts which should be an
The Colts,
option too.
yeah.
Because I don't know if Anthony Richardson's gonna pan
Yeah,
out.
but that's the biggest thing right now is they have Anthony Richardson. The Giants don't have anybody.
Well, yeah, but the Colts with Anthony Richardson, he would be in his final year of his rookie contract by the time the draft.
Yeah, I guess depending on how he plays, true.
Yeah, so just so it'll be really telling with AR5 next year. If after next year they pick up his 5th-year contract, if they don't pick up his 5th-year contract, then they don't believe in him. So who knows? We'll see. Archie, good luck. A lot of expectations fall in your hands, but that's what happens when you're a Manning. So to be continued. All right, we do have Ohio State versus Notre Dame next Monday night. It's gonna be the championship game, big time. Thank goodness too, because without Monday Night Football, sometimes it just gets a little boring.
Yeah.
So Jeff, I'm gonna start with you. Notre Dame or Ohio State, who wins?
So this is a tough one. It's weird. I got a little love for Ohio State for some reason when they the first year of the 14 playoff and Ezekiel Elliott was their running back. Me and my bro were just watching them and we were like, look at that fool. Like we just liked Zeke. And so we're rooting for them. And it was cool that first year that the number 4 team won it, right? They won it. And then my Cowboy fandom went downhill after that. But coming from San Antonio, I went to Holy Cross. I gotta go with Notre Dame. I was a big fan when I was a kid.
Close.
Man, Brian Kelly made me stop liking Notre Dame. I couldn't watch them. They were just so boring. That's when my fandom for Notre Dame stopped. So, but now I got to give some love. I got my bomber. I got my Letterman Notre Dame jacket like Rudy. I might have to bust it out for next week if I can find it somewhere. So I got Notre Dame.
All right. Trey, what about yourself? Notre Dame or Ohio State?
Okay, first off,
You
let's
went to
not
Holy
let this
Cross?
slide that Jeff chose it because he went to a Catholic school.
Holy Cross, fool.
I understand that, but
It's the sister brother school.
You're literally. Anyways, I'm going Notre Dame because I like gold.
I like gold.
I like gold.
No, I actually, again, we talked about it earlier. I think if Notre Dame can shut down their big guys like Smith, I think they've got it in the bag. And the way Freeman is running that team right now, they've been playing really strong. So I got Notre Dame.
Alex, yourself?
Oh, also because I'm Catholic. So
You saw Rudy when you were a kid?
yeah, I loved Rudy as a kid.
I'm gonna go for the red team because I'm not Catholic. I am
Because you're
atheist.
wearing red.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just
That
kidding.
explains why your kid's not baptized yet, huh?
Oh,
Yeah, not yet. No, he's not baptized yet. But I'm gonna go Ohio. The slander that Ryan Day has gotten from the media over the years, I hope he fucking sticks it to Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, all those fucking nut jobs up there. Because it's good. Man, I'm telling you, these college guys are gonna have a fucking field day if Ryan Day wins the championship.
Why couldn't you go after Acho and Skip Bayless?
They're dumb. They're dumb as hell. Well, because I mean they're got their hands full right now.
Joy to the world.
2 handful.
Yeah. So yeah, I like Notre Dame has a great defense, but Ohio State has too many weapons, dude.
Yeah.
They do. They got three wide receiver ones in their repertoire, and they got two RB1s. So you pick your poison. It's gonna be a good game. Like a lot of us say it's 50-50, but I'm gonna give the edge to Ohio because I feel like Ohio's playing with they're playing for something like a little more. They're like I said, Ryan Day has gotten a lot of backlash to everybody, and I hope he gets to raise that trophy on Monday.
Yeah. So
You want to bet on it or what?
We
yeah,
could.
go for it,
Talking
fellas.
chat.
We're talking in the chat. No, I'm gonna do. Not crazy. These guys be losing money to each other every freaking week. I love it. Yeah, I would agree. Like with Notre Dame right now, they're playing with house money. No one expected them to be here. They probably are like a year or two early, in most cases. So I think they will. They don't really have as much to lose. So it will be like, hey, they're just gonna play hard and they're gonna try to stick it to Ohio State as much as they can. But I think overall, Ohio State does have the superior talent, I would say. And that is going to be my pick. Ohio State will win this matchup. Probably like let's go with triple overtime stakes here. And
Fuck, if we get that shit, it'd be crazy.
yeah, if we can get a little local, because I do
That would
think
be a badass national championship, though, right? Like triple overtime, like.
because I do think Notre Dame could keep it real close, like for the most part. But I think that in the end, like when it's clutch time right there, I do think Ohio State will get the job done. Ryan Day is having kind of like a not a resurgence, but he's kind of like having a like there was that big upset to Michigan, and then after that it was kind of like a revenge tour afterwards. I like to pull that from like let's say Tom Brady with the Buccaneers. They started pretty badly throughout the season. Then they took their bye week in week 13, and then after that they came back with a vengeance. I kind of see the same thing with Ohio State. Spoiler, I actually see that also with Baltimore right now too, as far as the NFL side of things. After their bye, they've kind of been on a tear. So there's a lot of similarities here right now. So that's why I'm gonna go with Ohio State to win it all on Monday night. But good shit, fellas. Good shit.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I was gonna have a game for us to do NBA wise, but I wanted James in here to do it, so we'll hold that off until another week. But in the meantime, there was some coaching changes that we do need to discuss, aka Jeff's team, his sister team, the Dallas Cowboys have allowed basically Mike McCarthy's contract to, run out. Tomorrow he'll be a full free agent where he can talk to other organizations as the Chicago Bears and New Orleans Saints are interested in him. And now the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, will start looking for a new head coach. Jeff, you're the Cowboys fan here from your sister alumni. How do you feel about this change?
This is definitely a great day for Cowboy fans. I never liked Mike. I thought it was a dumb hire when they hired him, even though I was already a little mad when that situation. I was like, man, that's a bad hire. He just ain't it. He's kind of goofy. I know y'all are gonna hate, but to only win one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, you got to be pretty bad as a coach. He just doesn't have it right. He was always good offensively, but he couldn't get Rodgers a defense. I don't know what they thought that he was gonna lead Dak Prescott to a fucking Super Bowl. There was just no chance in hell it was ever gonna work. But yeah, it's a third of the problem. I don't know who the hell they're gonna hire. I don't think they're saying that Prime ain't coming. I would love to have Prime. I don't know who the hell. I mean, it's good until they pick the next coach, right? But yeah, I would definitely say it's not really a step in the right direction because Jerry Jones is going to get another yes man or whatever. But at least it's a change of I mean, we've been saying the same thing for how many years was he there? 4. It was just the same thing, repetitive. It was no creativity, no learning, no nothing. So definitely glad he's gone.
Trey, as a man who lives in Texas but doesn't have any fandom for Dallas at all, how do you feel as an outsider looking in?
I'm so excited for the rumor I saw. For y'all. So the
What's
rumor
that?
that I saw was that the Dallas Cowboys are going to trade Dak Prescott to Tennessee for the number 1 pick, hire Dion, and get Schrader Sanders, sir. And
Victory.
if that
I saw
happens,
that. I don't even want to speak at it. I just hope it happens.
that is terrible. Terrible. Dog, please do not do that shit. No.
Please.
But no, I do like the fire of Mike McCarthy. The Cowboys have always been known to hold on to coaches way too long, aka Mr. Garrett himself.
Mr.
Oh my
Um,
god,
Clap
he's
hands.
a fucking clock, man. I hated that motherfucker.
But how did he
was
last that
terrible.
long? Just like Mike McCarthy.
Bro.
How did they last that long? That's what I don't
He was with
understand.
Tony Romo. Him and Tony Romo. I had
Tony
no
Romo
idea
didn't know how to
bumpy-
lose and get that guy fired.
So
Dude, they were
Oh no, he
terrible.
knew how to lose 8-8, baby. All he knew how to
I
lose.
do.
Tony
I'm
Romo
very
gave that
happy,
guy a career.
I'm very happy for the Cowboys fandom. I really hope that rumor does not come true though, because that would be so stupid.
That
So
would be
stupid.
awesome.
But we'll see, man. It's been an interesting mid-end season, whatever you want to call it, because it's not the off season yet already. So
All right,
Coaching
Alex.
carousel.
Alex, you are the Mike McCarthy advocate. Obviously, you thought the Cowboys should retain him. If not, then you'd be happy to welcome him in Chicago. How do
Remember
you
I said that
feel?
last week?
Yeah. How do
Yes.
you feel about him being released? How do you feel about Jerry Jones basically wasting everyone's time, denying the Bears an opportunity to interview him?
What a
Dumbass.
dumbass, right? Like, what's wrong with him?
he is the worst.
Look, it would make sense because dude, I'm telling you, if you guys watch the pregame fight with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul,
What are you talking
Michael
about, that damn
Irvin.
fight.
No, I'm telling. Look, Michael Irvin and Jerry Jones were in the what's it called it, the pregame talk, right? And they were I don't know who the lady was, but they were asking them like what's the future looking like with like Dallas Cowboys, and they brought up Sanders, and both of Michael Irvin and Jerry Jones looked at each other, and they're like, "Oh, we think he's a great coach. If you get an opportunity," Michael Irvin was talking about it, but Jerry Jones didn't want to say nothing. And he's like, "We got something cooking this offseason. We'll get something going." And like Jerry Jones was just like damn, like he didn't want to say nothing. And he kind of then he started talking about like the stadium or whatever. But anyways, like I was like, dude, something's gonna happen. That's why I thought throughout the years, like if they let him go, it's gonna be the dumbest thing. But they do want to bring in Sanders. So the whole thing of them not letting Chicago interview him whenever they wanted to is because maybe they thought that something was that they weren't going to be able to get an interview with Sanders, but I don't know, something happened, and now I think they believe that they could get Sanders. And if that happens with trading away the number 1 pick for Dak Prescott and bringing in his son with him, that's a high possibility that could happen. And
Why?
dude, because who Jerry is,
Yeah.
with and Prime already said that what he wants to happen.
Well, that's both of his sons.
Yeah,
he wants both of his sons to play for him.
Well, that won't be an issue with Shiloh. He'll probably go undrafted.
Yeah, he'll be like
he'll be Bronny. He'll be Bronny picked up in the 7th round.
But
you realize if the Cowboys do this, you realize that they're basically just family team at that point, right?
They're gonna be tanking.
They drafted Deuce Vaughn. Come on, dog. And
I didn't say they weren't stupid. I just said,
But yeah, I mean, I hope they let him go. A lot of not even like Cowboy fans, not even like other fans were like, oh, they were happy. I'm like, do you not know what Mike McCarthy brings to the football team? Like, he developed Dak Prescott, he developed Aaron Rodgers. As much as you want to hate that he only brought 1 Super Bowl to Aaron Rodgers, he built that defense. Like somebody's like you just said, he didn't have a good defense.
Just eyes are like, oh yeah.
That 1 year, just that 1 year.
Hey, realize the Cowboys are projected to be like the Lakers and just start drafting everybody's brothers and sons and uncles and cousins.
Hey, you think LiAngelo Ball has a shot?
Yeah, look at LaMelo and Lonzo, man.
I don't know, man. I'm happy for Mike McCarthy. I'm happy that and I don't think he was a yes man. That's probably why he ended up leaving.
No. So the
No,
reason,
no, he wasn't a yes man.
hold
That's
on,
why
hold on. The reason that they decided to go ahead and let him go was because they offered him a short term contract, a 1 to 2 year contract only, versus what Mike wanted was a 4 to 5 year contract. So because you want as a coach, you're gonna want stability. That's why I tell you when these guys are fighting for a longer contract or they deny it, it's because they want longer time, they want longer stability. Because even if let's say Jerry fired him 1 year into his new contract, he's still getting taken care of for the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You want long term, you don't want short term. So what they reported was that Jerry was only offering a 1 or 2 year deal, and Mike did not want that. So that was the reason why. And you're not going to sit here and look at me straight in the face and tell me Mike was not a yes man these last 4 years. Because goddamn, everyone knows that's what he's been the last 4 years. The man had a grown ass sleepover with Jerry Jones to get hired. He's a yes man.
I don't think he was a yes man.
What you think and what we
I
know
don't
is
think so.
2 different things.
Hey, but he might, if the Bears do get him, I think that would be good for Caleb.
It could be good for his development.
He's that type of quarterback,
Yeah, a bridge head coach.
Y'all just need that was a hard, with Dan Quinn, Dallas had a decent defense. You need a defensive coach when you have
I
him.
think
as your
I
coach.
think you need a good receiving core to help Caleb.
Hey, to be fair though,
he had a good year though.
He had a
He did
decent
a lot
year
of
for
picks.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did have a good
He
year.
had a better year than I thought he was going to, for sure.
He hit 3,000 yards, and Trey was like, "All right, that's okay."
No, it's okay. We're gonna see how this next year
Yeah, he
starts.
needs to.
What did I say? I said a year and a half.
He really does need this summer to really grow up.
That's what I want to see. I want to see what he did from this year, which was decent, and translate that to next year, and let's see.
Bro, that Ben Johnson prank was fucking awesome, though.
Dog, that was so hilarious.
Hey, do you guys
Nope.
care if people talked about how bad he played this year? Because people were bashing him that he was a bust and he played terrible.
But
He played terrible. I think he held on to the ball too long at certain points. Let's just say he did rookie.
Yeah, he looked like a rookie.
Yeah, rookie shit.
Yeah, he did rookie shit.
He had the same numbers that basically the same numbers that what's the name had Kyler Murray did his rookie year too.
That's what I'm saying. He did rookie shit.
Yeah,
Tyler's been balling out.
I would say Kyler Murray had a good year his rookie year.
Yeah,
they compared to both numbers that they're both rookie years because I think they were both number 1 picks.
It's all gonna come down to wins at the end, and that's as much as some people want to say QB wins isn't a QB stat, it is to a lot of media, and there's a lot of people too.
Which I don't pay attention to the media. For me, again, it's what he did this year and his development into next year. Because if he comes out sluggish and slow, then I'm gonna be very hesitant to believe in him. But if he comes out hot and plays his game as a non-rookie now, then I have confidence in him.
To me, it depends on who they get as a coach too.
Yeah,
so Mike McCarthy,
100%
and I guess Ben Johnson but I don't want
Yeah, we know you
don't I don't want Ben.
You don't want Ben. You don't want Ben. We know
because he's basically he's a hot name. I understand that, but a lot of hot names have not been good in the past. So there were.
I think he's a pretty good coach, though.
I think so too, but I don't know if he's going to be a good head coach.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Don't develop into always work out. Coaches.
Yeah. So, would you rather get a coach that's been there, done that?
I still can't believe that people are interviewing Vance Joseph for another head coach job.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
like getting 90-year-old Wade Phillips.
He's a terrible head coach. Defensive coordinator, really good. Terrible head coach.
What's it called? Going back to something we were talking about earlier. If they do trade Dak, it's $100 million dead cap.
Gosh, damn.
Because he just signed a new deal. So
I forgot about that. Good Lord.
So y'all asking for a lot if you do get to get traded. So that's why I don't think a trade is actually possible. It's just because they won Dion. You know what? Sorry. Dion sometimes you gotta cut the cord. You gotta coach without your sons being in the locker room. Okay,
You can't.
that's all I'm saying. You can bring back Shiloh as an assistant because he's not gonna go far in the NFL, respectfully. So you can still have your son in the locker room. if you want.
Non-respectfully, he's not going to go very far.
No, I mean, he might not get drafted. He might be a round 7 guy. We'll see.
Mr. Irrelevant.
There you go. So, I'm all right. So overall, I guess Jeff, what is your favorite guy that you would want to see head up the Cowboys? Let's say other than Dion.
Other than Dion,
Yeah,
You're
man,
so good.
I have no idea. Of course, Bill Belichick, but it sounds like he's happy. Where did he go? UCLA? Where did he go?
UNC.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Like they're saying
Maybe
that he's
lose.
that he's turning down NFL coaching jobs now. But yeah, of course, I would want Bill. Who else? They said we can trade McCarthy for Tomlin. That would be cool. Because they're both like the same coach.
Honestly, Jeff, I think for Tomlin's sake, I think he needs to leave Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that'd be nice. You think so?
I think so because I feel like he's still a great coach, but these players are not listening to him. There's no way you start 10-3, then go 0-5 the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And you like your niche is defense, and all your defensive players except for like maybe a few of a front like Watt, Hayward, and what's his name? Either ways, like you lose the rest of them. Like Sutton that was leaving assignments, Minka was not giving his best. Like this whole team, like I'm not saying he lost the locker room. I'm just thinking that they don't. Like it's just repetitive to them.
Yeah, they need a change.
It's the same noise. It's like Andy Reid in Philly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
So
and I also think like what we talked about earlier with Romo going 8-8 every year isn't the plan in the NFL, right? You got to have that bad season to get some draft picks. Yeah. And when you're 8-8, you're just stuck there in the middle, and you just he overachieves and
first round exit in this.
You think about it. That's what I was about to say.
And that's another
first round, and now
that's another problem.
They're pick what, like 24, 26, something like that.
So they're just always a little overachieved. You can say they overachieved, you know, like, and that's not a bad thing, but it's just the structure of the NFL system, right?
Yep. Just like,
but yeah, I wouldn't mind Tomlin going somewhere else and proving it. I mean, I would want Tomlin as my coach. I wouldn't give him up, you know.
So knowing what they probably had to give up, would you be okay if Cowboys gave up the first round pick for him?
For Tomlin?
Because that's what they have to give up.
Really? For the coach?
Because that's what the Broncos did, I think, for Sean Payton.
Really?
Yeah.
They had was it our first round pick?
They had to give up something big, or maybe it was a second.
Yeah,
I'll double check.
I want to say it was the second round, but I could be wrong.
It's worked out.
I would do it for Tomlin. For Tomlin, I would. That dude's legit.
Tomlin, I'd be okay with losing a pick for Tomlin.
I mean, you give him, you know, they haven't been able to replace Big Ben. You know, he worked. He did real well with Russell Wilson, but I think we all know that. Well, even Russell Wilson, that is, you know, what he got left in the tank just ain't enough, right?
So it was.
They need a damn quarterback.
It was right. It was a 2023 first round pick and a 2024 second round pick.
Okay,
but why did they have to do that?
To get Sean Payton's contract.
Because Sean Payton was still under contract technically.
Yeah, when he retired, he was still under contract.
With the Saints.
With the Saints,
but all they did was freeze his contract. Like that's the only way like he could get.
Yeah.
So
damn, I don't remember that. That's insane.
So I would imagine if let's say the Cowboys went crazy and not crazy, man, they went logical and they actually traded for Tomlin, they probably have to do something similar like that.
Yeah. In Pittsburgh, I don't think they'll give them up. They're too smart for that, you know. But
are they?
I think so. They got good owners over there.
And well, what about you, Jose? I mean, you guys just got a new coach. I heard some noise that you guys were bringing in the same OC from years past.
No, I don't think that's true. I think that's a rumor every year, bro. Every time we get a new OC, that's the same rumor every year. I think what people don't understand is from the Belichick coaching tree. And that's what's like. It's like a little like
he's just a player.
He was a player for Belichick. He never coached under him. He molded his own thing. Like he coached with other organizations. He never went under Bill. He just loves New England so much because that's where he thrived, right? Because he got drafted by Pittsburgh. Didn't do well there. Then New England gave him a shot. Belichick gave him a shot. That's where he won 3 championships. Then he ended his run with KC. Like that's
shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah, like nobody, like many people know that, but literally, he just loves the organization. Like he is not a Belichick drone. He's not Bill O'Brien. He's not Josh McDaniels. He's not freaking even Brian Flores or Matt Patricia. He ain't any of these guys that failed out elsewhere. He you can see Tennessee how badly they missed him this year. That
Oh
was a
yeah,
bad
Oh yeah.
firing.
yeah.
If Vrabel had that roster, Tennessee would have been a contender. Like even with a Will Levis or whatever was at quarterback, he could have done something. So you see, and he fired the GM for it too. So I think he'll bring his own philosophy. He'll bring his own words. He'll bring his own knowledge, and it'll be different. I don't think it'll be the same old, same old. Josh McDaniels is always going to be a chatterbox thing because that's just the stereotypical, you know, thing we get every year. Trust me, I've heard it since basically he got fired from the Raiders. Oh, they're going to bring him as a consultant.
Hey, but low key though, Vrabel head coach and him OC might not be a terrible thing though.
It might not, but for what he wants, it's probably not going to be that. He probably is going
Not
to be a
worth
more
it.
run heavy guy.
I
You
get
got to
that.
I was
understand
about
too.
to say that.
You got to understand
No,
too.
no,
Like
no,
Josh McDaniels, the way he lost his job by losing the locker room and respect of the players and coaches that he staffed. That I don't know if he'll actually be back in the NFL. And
Yeah.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I don't think he'll ever get another job. And then I know, Marco kind of bashed the Titans whenever Rabel was there because he said, "Oh, they all they do is run the ball."
no, they bashed Ryan Tannehill. He didn't bash the Titans. He bashed Ryan Tannehill. We gotta put that right word out.
But okay, so is he gonna do the same thing to Drake May because that first couple years, that's all he's gonna do to tell you the truth.
Yeah, but look who he had at running back, bro. Why would you not fucking run the ball like crazy?
Yeah, exactly. But like what I'm saying is what Marco sounded like was like a more like a casual fan, right?
Mm.
Because so you think people are gonna be more on Drake May, like, oh, he can't throw the ball, they're just running the damn ball. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that though, because he's still a young QB. He's gonna have his second OC, his second coach too. So to me, whenever you have a young quarterback,
Are
you
guys like
want to
Marco
run the
gonna
ball.
judge young QBs like that? Sure, absolutely. This fans that's always gonna be like that. To be fair, like there's always gonna be guys that aren't watching that team ball and just watching the stats or respectfully, right? Like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say Marco watches every football game. He's got a life, whatever.
Yeah.
So like I'm not gonna like some of us kind of pay more attention than other people do on this podcast. That's okay. That's life happens, right? We're not gonna be like whatever, but like Robert, what are y'all talking about? No, don't worry. We'll be talking
Don't worry,
about
stay
the Vikings.
on.
Well, we're
Stay
gonna
on,
talk about
buddy.
the Vikings very soon.
Stay
Don't
on,
don't
buddy.
worry. Don't worry. We're talking about how casuals
Coaching.
judge basically rookie QBs through coaching styles and all that. But I don't like for me, let's say this. It's my team, right? We're talking about Drake May right now. Even if we turn into a run first team for the next few years while Drake is still developing and we're getting a better roster around him, if it's me, I'm watching. I know what's going on. If it's casuals, people are always gonna say shit, not understand. You know what's so funny and ironic about it? And y'all, I think I noticed it on TikTok the other day. I posted the last 2 years of our stories about Justin Fields into our TikTok stories. I posted 2 years ago when I said when James was like, "Oh man, I would take Caleb over all these guys over CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Hendon Hooker." And we were talking about what if Justin Fields gets traded. And then Marco had a word that said, well, he can't pass. He's not accurate. He's not a good thrower of the ball. That's what's and then we see the next year, that following year, he throws over 3,000 yards, 1,300 for DJ Moore. It's more accurate, and so like you bringing that up, Alex, is like yeah, I didn't.
Exactly. So
Like
your mic is getting cut kind
I was
of
just
low,
about to
but
say your mic sounds kind
but
of weird.
I thought it was my
but
internet.
my bad, boys, my bad.
There you go.
but yeah, that's exactly why I brought that up because some people don't really watch our teams, right? And they just look at the numbers. In the young quarterbacks, it's really hard to judge them because I essentially thought Bo Nix was gonna be just run the ball because that's what I thought Sean Payton was gonna do. But then yet again, Sean Payton's offense in New Orleans had fucking Drew Brees throwing for 5,000 yards. So it didn't really shock me that he threw it for that much. But you would have thought that the running game would have been a little bit better. But the casual fans would have, if that would have happened, they would have said, "You see, this is why Bo dropped so much." But not knowing, like, bro, come on, they're a run heavy team first. Like, great analogy that you brought up with Justin Fields because whenever they said they couldn't throw, that offense was ranked number one offense in rushing yards that year.
Yeah, and at the same time, they were 32nd in separation.
So,
am I still cutting
I
out?
don't know.
Am I good?
No, you're good.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure. All right. So instead of talking about Saturday's games and Sundays first, Robert, I'm going to go straight to you. I'm going to go straight to your team from last night. The Minnesota Vikings, the number 5 seed, the team that Trey was been trying to change playoff rules for seeding-wise purposes. They got their asses whooped because you said the seeding. You want the seeding.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they lost. That 14 team lost badly. Whooped, destroyed, mollywopped. They used Sam Darnold's body, threw it into the fire of LA to try to put that fire out. That's what them freaking Rams did to your damn team, Robert. So, guys, 27-9.
Did you see that WWE move?
Yeah, how do you get away with that?
I don't know.
Like, he was already falling down. He never just
How is that
jumped
not a flag?
It's funny though.
No, so guys, obviously the 14-team Vikings, they went into Arizona, an away game for both teams, honestly. And they got destroyed by the Rams, a team that they had lost to early in the year by 10 points, I believe it was 20-30. Some people think that first game was robbed by the face mask. I think the face mask didn't get a chance to run it, make a comeback. But at the end of the day, they got beat down. And man, Sam Darnold got sacked after sack after sack.
Oh,
Not talking about Caleb Williams holding on to the ball way too long. Sam Darnold did not know where to launch that thing. And he got sacked so many times that they said that the yards lost was the most in NFL postseason history.
Damn.
Bro, there was one play, and I don't remember when it was, but they were showing blitz, and old boy just held onto the ball, and got smacked in his back.
Yeah,
I think it was that fumble recovery one.
That was a fumble one, yeah, because he got
I was like,
blindside hit. And
dog, you saw blitz. Like, you can't hold on to the ball that long by seeing blitz. Like, you can't. You're going to get smacked. And sure enough.
And then Jared Verse just took that shit back home.
Yeah, Verse went off.
Whew.
Holy fuck.
Man,
Verse went off for sure.
And it's not to dissuade, and I think my biggest disappointment, I don't know about y'all can chime in after this. Like, Brian Flores did not adjust his shit. Like, all that pressure, and Matthew Stafford had the time, Puka, Higbee for the first quarter, and then he died. And then freaking the other tight end, and then Cooper Kupp in the second half, and it's just all freaking day. Jeff,
how
did
my
you
favorite
feel? All right, go ahead.
So my favorite pass for the whole game, Stafford was to Kyron Williams for a touchdown. It wasn't far. I mean, it was basically a check down. Yeah, but it was like, I think it was like 6-yard check down.
Yeah.
But I think that play design was dude, they were in their bag, and then they saw the replay. Matthew Stafford was like looking at the receiver, and he pointed at the receiver to go one way, and he zipped it to like Williams underneath, and I was like, holy shit!
Because he saw the corner of his eyes. Like,
that shit
was breaking out.
But I was like, no, but I don't know if that was designed for him or not, because the way it looked like it kind of looked like it was like a play action stuff. Like, it looked good. Like, I was like, damn, that was a good design play, and I think that was the best.
I just can't believe how much Sam Darnold screwed himself.
Is it crazy to say, like, he had his Rudy moment, right? Like, week 17, they beat Green Bay, they hosting him up in the shoulders in the locker room. He's having the time of his life, and then the next week, it's a division championship game, choke. The following week, it's a one and done game, choke.
Yep.
Jeff, like, have you ever seen such a meteoric rise and fall in one fucking year?
So this is the thing, and as the only Puro Pinches analyst to pick the Rams to win in our little picksum, and I'm leading, of course, because it's playoff football. I think that's what it is. It's playoff football, right? Yeah, regular season, Sam Darnold, Dak Prescott can look good, but it's playoffs now, and you're talking about Super Bowl champs. A lot of hate, I think, on this pod about Stafford. That he was hurt for about a year and a half. This is Stafford healthy. He's looking with the no look passes.
Bro.
He's looking good. You got Sean McVay, who looks like a baby, and he already has so much experience of head coaching, and he's a damn good coach. And you have Minnesota's coach. He's had 2 good years, right? Last year with Kirk Cousins, and then Cousins got hurt, and then this year Sam, he brought Sam Darnold to life, and they have a decent defense. But I just think once you get to the playoffs, it's just a whole new ball game. And that coach, what's his name? Was it McConnell? What's his name? Yeah, he seems like he's a bright coach, but man, he now he has 2 years experience in the playoffs. He's gonna have to learn, and it's a long route, right? It takes time to learn how to be a good coach in the playoffs, what to do in the playoffs, and hopefully he gets the chance to do it. But that team, like the Rams are hot, right? They started off under 500, and then they've been on a run. They just been playing good. And they, I don't think they're going to make a Super Bowl run. I don't think they're the Giants, but they were on one of those runs where they just had to keep winning to make playoffs. They've been playing damn good football for the last 5 or 6 games. I think they had that one blunder against Tampa, maybe. But yeah, I just felt like this playoff football. You got Matt Stafford versus Sam Darnold, and Stafford, is going to get it done. They're just, even with Cup being Cup now, right? He's limited. They got Puka just going crazy still, right? He can just find his openings. You got Stafford to get it to him. And yeah, I get it. Last game, the season, it's always hard for Sam Darnold, but I still think he's not gonna his thing, his value didn't plummet, right? It went down, maybe Minnesota moves on from him, but someone's gonna pick that boy up and give him some money, But
Jeff, this man had the chance to walk away this year, even if no Super Bowl or conference championship game. This kid had a shot at a $15 million contract. Then he probably had, even after the last week's loss, he probably stood a chance on a franchise tag. Mm-hmm. That boy will be lucky to get $10 million to be the backup.
You think so?
Oh yeah, there's no, he had at least a minimum, even in a good loss last night, could have gotten a Baker Mayfield contract, 3 years, $100 million. Averaging 33 a year, but man, it was bad, Jeff. It ain't just
I know.
It was the turnovers. It was getting beat. I get it. This is the style he's played all year long, but dude, talking literally every time they show the replay of his eyes and his face,
yeah,
it looked like he was seeing ghosts again in New England. The whole shit was real. This kid literally was the number 3 pick in 2018, and you couldn't tell he's a 7-year pro.
Yeah.
Because the way they came after him, this dude was afraid for his life. And it wasn't like Addison wasn't open at times, Jettas wasn't open at times, Aaron Jones wasn't there for the checkdowns. He just went for the wrong opportunity, right? There was open on the hitches, but he was like, go route. It was just, or he just hang on to the ball. He was going for the big time play.
He did hang on to the ball a lot.
If you watch that replay that I was talking about where he had that strip sack, that corner safety, whoever was blitzing in, and fucking Hawkinson was wide ass open. The safety was the closest person to him, 12 yards away from him.
That Jordan Addison pick, or where he tried to throw it to the out route. I think Jordan Love had made that same throw, and I had told you guys, man, that throw is super hard to throw. And I think Love actually connected to. Oh no, he didn't connect. But anyway, both of those didn't connect. But you saw how in the Vikings game that was a pick, in the Green Bay it wasn't. But those are tough throws, and I was in the back of my mind, why the fuck is he throwing that? Unless Addison's a hot route or he's the main guy on that route. But Addison had no separation. Yeah, he had no shot to winning that route. And dude, that corner was gonna beat it.
Was that the play where Naylor had the slant and he beat his guy that is wide open?
I think so. But
it's right there.
But that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if Addison was the hot route or he like that's where the play is designed to go. But dude, he had no shot on that play. I was like, dude, on the back of my head, please do not throw it there. That's a pick six. Like he got lucky; it wasn't a pick six. Was it? I don't know if it was Murphy that stumbled or no, not Murphy. I mean, who's the corner from? It wasn't even a corner. I think it
not
was
Witherspoon.
I don't even think it was a corner. I think it was a safety. But yeah, dude, that was terrible. Dude, come on. Those are tough throws.
And look, it literally clarified for Kevin O'Connell, the Viking organization. Hey, we don't have to worry about being a QB controversy. JJ, when you're back, you are the guy. You're QB1 2025. It was so funny because I saw a report yesterday before the game. It said the Vikings are looking into keeping Daniel Jones to be the backup for Sam Darnold next year.
Damn.
And I was like, so are you trading JJ? What was the thought process?
There is a rumor that they're gonna trade JJ.
Well, I don't think that's gonna happen no more.
That was about a week or two ago. Yeah.
Well, this was yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. This report I saw about Daniel Jones backing up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Was like, no. Why'd you get drafted rookie then if you're just gonna do all this? Like, again, I'm big on rookie contracts. Take advantage as long as you can. See what you got in this kid first.
Yeah, they got to.
So now you have the opportunity. Hopefully, he doesn't get hurt next year. All right, Robert's been a good soldier. Let's look at his comments. He was ready. He said, "Bet." It was embarrassing.
It was bad.
Agreed.
That first drive by the Rams told me how it was going to go. Losing the second best tackle in the league midway didn't help.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
that's absolutely right. Sam lost millions.
Telling you.
He knows. Oh, shit.
Millions.
Can't skip too much. Keep sending the house on first and second down like the Rams. Didn't know that Brian gotta go. He shouldn't be back. Brian Flores? Okay. Wow.
Oh.
Man, first people were talking about him getting a head coaching job after this year. Now he's getting kicked out of Minnesota. Crazy. Milton says Jeremy Lin. LOL.
Wow. Oh, wow. And then you just got to remember, unlike the Lakers, the Rams are playing for the victims of the fires and all that. And they even said after the game that they were playing a little extra hard for all that shit.
I know they were wearing like LAFD shirts for that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Unlike LeBron's.
Oh my gosh.
Robert says KLC got outcoached, but Sam got broken by Detroit, and Sam couldn't make up his mind. Sam looked like he never played ball. He looked like me. I know. That pressure got to Sam. He wasn't ready.
It's a lot of pressure.
Belton says the game was not on O'Connell.
Oh, I could beg to differ on that one.
Really?
I'm half and half.
You think O'Connell was to blame for this in any way?
Yeah, I think so. Because what was the other guy's name? Robert.
Robert.
Yeah, so their left tackle went out pretty early in the game, and you didn't see any help over there. Verse was pretty much putting the backup tackle into what's the name? Slab.
Darnold. A blender.
Slab. Yeah, and it wasn't like I'm like, dude, and you were still doing 4-man, 3-man routes, and I would have thought that O'Connell would have dialed it back a little bit and do a little bit more with like a heavy max protect or something.
Yeah,
I would say 70-30, 70% quarterback and 30% coach.
I'm gonna say 9 and 10 at best. 9 sacks for Sam, 1 bad coaching night for O'Connell.
Yeah, it was an ass whooping.
Rams took a page out of Detroit defensive playbook, bro. To be honest, them being the only 2 teams to beat the Vikings, and not only that, but
back to back.
They did it in week 6 and 7.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Back to back, both times.
Both times.
It was 6 and 7, and then these last 2 weeks,
18
literally
and 19,
back to back.
Yeah.
I guess Dan Campbell's not going to see them in 2 weeks, huh?
Nope.
He saw that. Say, we'll see you 2 weeks, man.
Freaking Rams use that as a hype motivation. Hey, that's him. Hey, it changes up everything for the playoffs in the second round. I love it. Well, actually, he did. At the same time, he didn't think freaking Washington was going to win. So when he said that definitely changed everything. We held Puka and Cup under control. It was mostly the tight end that was killing us.
Higby was going off.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
That first pass
Higby,
to Higby was sick.
Higby died after the first
Yeah.
half. You think Kirby Joseph was back on the field attacking him again? It looked like Sam was scared out of his mind. That Jones news was fake. I hope so, bro. There's no way I'm retaining Daniel Jones for shit. And no, he's not. LOL. It'll be next year. Uh, we'll see, man. Rob, you're a good sport, man. I know at least you came back. Despite their team losing, you didn't run and hide. Like I see a lot of
That's
fans
right.
doing other pages. So good shit, man. Way to be a good sport about it. Can't wait for your shit talk next year. I'm already looking forward to it. All right, fellas, let's go into Saturday's game. First game up was it hurt, bro. I know. We've all
Same, fam.
we've all been there.
My hurt was a little less, but same, fam.
Right.
The fandom.
Same, but different.
First game up was the Chargers going to Houston, Texas, and then laying a fucking egg. Letting Houston, Texas look like defensive gods.
They did. They made them look like what we thought Houston was going to be this year.
Yeah, I mean, to be like Houston had not played like this all year long. They lost Stephon Diggs, they lost Tank Dell. Both still came to the game regardless. And man, the Chargers, I don't know how to explain it. I know, like, I can easily just say Justin Herbert had the worst game of his career, but man, the whole team, even the coaching was just bad, god awful. Alex, you are a Herbert lover, enthusiast, Arball sexual. Talk to me, man. How did you feel about this game?
Yeah, I think Herbert did have one of the worst games of his career, but I think everybody else had one of the worst games in their career also with everybody. I mean, like, he wasn't catching a break with his receivers catching the damn ball, people dropping. The first pick that he threw was a terrible pick. You see, with Jim, he knows what type of team he has. So like he had everybody in max protecting that one. There was going to be a 2-man route. And Justin Herbert, he ran to the right and he threw it back to the left. And I was like, oh, dude, that's a terrible throw. Like nobody, I think, not even the best quarterbacks make those throws. Like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, those are known to be picks. What's his name? Johnson. Get him the fuck out of LA. Like he is the worst receiver in that draft class. He drops everything left and right. I don't know if you guys saw the 4th and 2 play where they had to go for it, and he ran like a whip route on I think Stingley, and he beat Stingley like on the money, but he ran the route a yard or two short, and he threw it to him. He caught it, and as he was going down, he drops it. I'm like, oh my god, like it was right in his numbers. I'm like, come on, and then not to take any away from Houston because Houston played a good fucking game, especially the second half. Their defense turned it up. They were the defense that we thought that they should have been because I don't think CJ had a great game at all. I think the defense played one of the best games that we've seen in a very long time under D'Amico Ryans with the blitzes and everything. Because after a while, whenever the game started getting a little bit out of hand, the Chargers had to go out of their comfort zone and had to get the deep shots going. And what's his name? The young rookie tackle. What's his name from the Chargers? What's his name? Alt.
Yeah, Alt.
Even Alt started getting beat on his one-on-ones, and it was crazy. It was a terrible game for the Chargers. Now it does put that thing out there where he's now 0-2 in the playoffs. I mean, people could write him off. That's fine. I mean, there's been a lot of great quarterbacks that started their career 0-2. John Elway, I think he started 0-3. Lamar Jackson, uh, Eli Manning, Matthew Stafford, and all of them. Like to tell you the truth, most of them had a completion percentage at like a 40 or 50% too. So I mean, if people want to drop the stock or like not, think write him off, that's totally fine. I mean, rightfully so. He did have a bad game, 4 interceptions, but I like we said, I don't think 2 of those interceptions were on him. Yeah,
I say 3 of them were. Three definitely were, in my opinion. Obviously, the 2 bad ones, the picks, but the one I said on a text thread where he's like, I know you said that he looked like his first read was Johnson, and then he readjusts back to Lad. But from the angle, because I looked at the QB angle, his helmet is on freaking. I know his eyes might have been different, but his helmet's on Lad the whole time. So Lad hasn't turned yet. And
yeah, he hasn't.
he's already about to pump it, but he has to hold it back. And you see that the freaking tackle's getting pushed into him. So by the time he does throw it, he's overshooting it because he doesn't want to get blocked. But at the same time, it's just, Lad's got to try to make a possible catch. I won't say impossible. A really hard catch, just jumping in the air. But, I mean, it's a tough ask, man. I mean, and so that's why, like, that one, I still blame him because I do think with Herbert's skills, because he is talented. I've never taken that away from him. I think if he had just released it on that first, like, Chuck, Lad would have just turned right in time to put his hands up and catch the ball. I think that's a much better, at least even if he doesn't, at least that's a much better thing to happen than freaking the interception, right? Like, so I go there. And, of course, Disley freaking just letting that shit go. I know I was driving at the time when I was like, oh, you see why Stingley's an all-pro? Like, no, I see why you made that comment while I was driving. But, no, I mean, it's still, bro, those other 3, other than this, I was like,
the second Stingley pick was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. He didn't throw it out enough. He didn't make it to where only his guy can catch it,
There was they played it perfect because Stingley knew he had safety help over the top, so he took away the inside, and Herbert knew if he throws it to the outside, he's gonna get killed by the safety running over the top, and then the Stingley just played it perfect. He had a perfect read. That was also a bad throw too. Don't ever throw it there because that's double covered.
I don't know if this game alone was enough to knock Herbert out of my top 10 for when we do the postseason rankings, but it'll be in consideration for sure. So,
all I want to say about this game real quick is that I think it just showed the lack of weapons that the Chargers have. Another, like, they probably overachieved a little this year, Harbur's first year back. But again, when it comes to playoffs, you need some weapons, right? And Dissy, right, dropped the ball the damn time, can't catch a damn pass, and I saw a lot of drop passes. And I think Herbert didn't play the best, but then at the end, you just don't want to go down and just lose, right? He's trying to, you saw him trying to force things, and besides McConkley, right, that's their only weapon, and they just got out of hand. But he's gonna go down, fucking fighting and throwing. But yeah, Chargers are going to be there. It was just they got to get him a little bit more weapons than what they got.
Trey, J.K. Dobbins has been a solid running back all year long when he's healthy for them. And in this game, he only had 9 carries.
Yeah, they didn't utilize him at all.
Do you think like there's something that with him that they need to move on, or do you think that they just need to like do with him what they should have done with freaking Lamar in the running game last year?
Well, that's exactly what it was, and that's what I was just about to bring up. Is if you remember the Baltimore, they ran it all damn year, and then when they got to the main game that they needed to, they fucking ran it like 4 times. It was stupid. The Chargers did the exact same thing. They stopped running the ball. Now I get it; they were playing behind a little bit too, but again, everybody knows the running game opens up the passing game. So I don't know why teams do that. Same thing with the Broncos a couple weeks ago. Coach literally wrote "run it" on the damn sheet. They were running it the whole first half, and then they stopped the second half. I just don't get that concept. So
Yeah, it was a tough out for them. I mean, obviously, Chargers, like we all said, like Jeff said earlier, like even like why I gave James prop last week for it. They overachieved. They made the playoffs, even though they probably shouldn't have. Really, that probably just says more about the AFC though. That as many teams that failed out that they should have. But yeah, it's not gonna look good. And Robert, you're right. They need to start talking about Herbert like they used to talk down on Lamar.
Don't let
Oh,
Alex hear you.
Owen, hey, to be
Crazy.
fair, Owen two touchdowns, 5 interceptions in those 2 games. One's a blowout. One's a blowout loss. The other one with a bad performance, and the other one's a choke job. So if like I get it, like me and you, Alex, we've always and Jeff, we've always been high on Lamar. I know some people on here thought 21 best QB in the world, but I mean, to be fair, like we could be critical on Lamar's time before. Like now he's 3-4 in the playoffs, so like he's moving on up, and we know he's just
I,
gonna get better. But we got it. Like Herbert, it's not good performances either. Like it's not.
it's
He needs
it's
to get
not.
that one. He needs to get that one good performance, even in a
But
loss.
I think it's crazy that people like I was never bashing Lamar either for his first couple playoff runs either. And I was just talking to my brother about this today. I'm like, imagine if people had media back then, how they would talk about Elway, because Elway's first couple years in the
Peyton,
postseason, Peyton, and this was crazy. Peyton had a terrible rookie year, and then as far as picks, goes into the playoffs and loses the first two or three, and has a bad playoff performances too. So I was like, man, imagine what people would have said. And then and I was like, what the fuck? And I looked back at our top 10 quarterbacks, and most of those quarterbacks that we have on there had a terrible performances in their first couple games, first playoff performances. Like Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, and I was like, Matt Ryan was on the show talking about how Justin Herbert was his playoff performances. And I was like, bro, you're just being like a hypocrite, because you had the same thing your first couple of years in the playoffs too. And not only that, your playoff games were even worse. Like it's crazy. I'm like, man, it's a good thing that those quarterbacks that back then didn't have beat, because I shit you not, Elway would have gotten like beaten by the
well, let
league.
me ask Alex: is it hypocritical or is it learning from experience because he went through that, so he knows that what Herbert needs to do to change?
Possibly, but I never heard anything about Matt Ryan when he was coming. Besides the him choking the team choking in the Super Bowl to the Patriots.
Because I'm not gonna try to pretend like I remember what every tweet and Instagram post was going on in 2013 and all that stuff early on in his career. But like, I don't think Matt Ryan, because we know Matt Ryan's not just in one bad choke job ever. It's two. I mentioned last week that 33-0 lead against the freaking Vikings and choking that he's part of two bad experiences. So I don't think he tried to take a shot at him. I think he was just trying to like, hey, bro, like this is what they told me, and I'm gonna repeat the same thing so that way you
Maybe.
know what it is. But like, I get it, Alex. I get it. Like we shouldn't like throw in too much bad negativity or lose stock in him as much. First of all, I didn't have that much stock in him, to be fair. Um,
But
but
let me ask this though.
but
Okay, so Herbert's been in the league
5 years.
how long? 5 years? He's had weapons before. He didn't really have weapons this year, whatever you want to call it. How long do we give him at this point?
So that my so when people say, like, I know where that's coming from, because he made it to the playoffs 2 years out of the five. There's also been other quarterbacks that have been in the NFL 5 years and only made it twice. Also, I granted, I mean, they weren't healthy. I'm not talking about Joe, because Joe's also been in the league for 5 years and only made it twice. I
Yeah.
get it that he was hurt, right? Not a lot of people were talking about him being an injury-prone quarterback. Um, and in college, he couldn't beat out Haskins, and so like that was my big knock coming from him too, because I'm like, well, you're always injured and you couldn't beat out Haskins in college. You go to LSU and you have one of the best teams assembled essentially as far as offenses, right? You come to the NFL and you get a pretty good what's it call it core. I get that Herbert had a decent core, right? I was never high on Austin Eckler. I know some people were, but I'm like I never thought Eckler was good at all. But I get it, yeah. So like Keenan Allen was good whenever he was the Chargers. This year he fucking I don't know. He got butterfingers this year, but when he was with the Chargers, I mean, he was good.
You understand that weather climate is so much different in LA to Chicago, bro. That climate change, it really does affect players differently. No, but I was just saying, like I said in the text thread, his first 4 years it was bad coaching, great players. This year, or great weapons. This year was great coaching, made weapons. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we do have to wait till there's a happy medium. But if we're trying to compare it to, like, the only reason I wouldn't say
he needs to play. He needs to start.
We'll give him 3 years under Harbaugh, and if Harbaugh don't believe in him, he's gonna get rid of him.
dude. But 3 years is a long time.
But
That's why I'm saying that.
But you got Harbaugh, dude. Like when you get a new head coach like that, it takes time. You're not gonna win it the first year.
I get that.
It's about a 3-year system.
3 years is a long time.
Yeah. One's done. 2 more.
But hey, we'll see. I mean, like, I don't know what priority is this year. We all know T. Higgins is going to be the highest freaking wide receiver chase out there for a lot of teams. I know the Broncos want him, Patriots want him, maybe the Chargers want him.
Hey, I have a feeling that A.J. Brown's going to end up in Green Bay. I just have a feeling.
Where did that come from?
Because A.J. Brown is not happy. We're talking about these receivers. Yeah, he's reading books on the sideline. He gone.
I kind of want to know what that's about, honestly.
Even if they win it, like because I think Philly has a real. I mean, they're winning games without even throwing the damn ball. They're gonna. Yeah. I think they'll be in the Super Bowl.
Well, fuck, they have one of the greatest running backs in the NFL right now.
Just extended him.
Did we translate to that game now, or we're gonna talk?
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's go transition to that.
Well, I only got like 10, 15 more minutes. I woke up at 4:30 this morning. I am dead tired. Yeah, let's go. Let's move it
all night with us, papas.
Let's do the 3-minute drill. Let's go.
But yeah, I agree.
Not caps off. We are not ready for that shit. Okay, so Philadelphia Eagles, mollywop 22-10. The Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love is.
What happened, Jeffrey? You okay?
He's a mid bottom tier guy.
I didn't lose no money on him. I didn't bet nothing on him. I had Philly beating them.
Yeah, Marco's the one that lost money betting on Jordan Love and all that.
But if y'all want me to defend him, and he doesn't really have he has a lot of receivers.
You have a defense for him?
He has a lot of receivers, but he doesn't really have like a number one receiver, right?
Well, Trey says that Christian, what's his name? Christian
Watson last week.
He got hurt that last game of the season.
Yeah, but he said that's a number one for
that's God, bro. Maybe that's God mode.
Hater, bro.
With Rodgers as your quarterback, maybe.
With how much you jump Justin Herbert's junk, you're gonna give me shit for hyping up one guy? Come on, dog.
Well, he was never a good receiver at all.
That's because his name is Christian. No, I don't know.
And he you know what? It's because his name is Christian and he didn't go to Notre Dame.
Exactly, that's why. But no, yeah, I mean, Watson was good. He had a good rookie year, right?
He had a good year.
He had a good.
I'm not saying he had a great year this year.
Yeah, but he's been injured and shit.
See, that's the difference, Alex. I know when somebody's hot and when somebody's not. And Christian Watson, his rookie year was hot. This year, he is not.
I told you he had a Ryan. What's his name? The tight end they used to have. No, the tight end that he used to have.
Robert
Tunsil or Tunyon or something like that. He had that one good year where he had 7 touchdowns and everybody was hyping him up. I'm like, bro,
who paid him?
Kraft played really well this year, though.
All the Bears, I think, picked him up. They didn't pay him.
That's about your team more than anything.
No, they picked him up on a 1-year deal, though. It was like a minimum. Nobody paid him.
Kraft had a pretty good year.
They got Kraft, right?
I think Kraft. I'll give you that. I think Kraft is, and as much as I hate Green Bay, I think Kraft is a good tight end.
He is a good tight end for sure.
And he did wonders for being fantasy.
I don't think Jordan Love deserves
Jeff, close your ears.
that much hate because
Never mind.
because
I thought it was going off.
no, because what Green Bay did was not to Jordan Love's strength. I told you, do not let Jordan Love stay in the pocket and pass because he is a terrible quarterback. I know. Look,
Terrible,
he's
like in the 25 and lower.
dude.
Like,
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's bad. He's really bad. Like I could pull up this dude. He's ranked, I think, the 30th or like the 20th as far as being a drop back quarterback.
Yeah, he did not have a good year.
Last year when he played against the Cowboys and everybody fell in love with him, and I told everybody it wasn't because of what he was doing. It was because of the way the play designs were, where people were butt open, like butt naked open. Where
you can't play the Cowboys every year in the postseason.
He was butt naked like all the receivers. So I'm gonna show you the stat because I was like,
that's right.
There's no way.
Butt naked.
On drop back quarterbacks drop back passes that are not RPOs or play actions or non-screens, he has 57 completion percentages, 15 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. If plays that are not play actions,
Jameis Winston.
It was a simple drop back.
Jameis Winston.
So he
30,
is not
30,
a
30.
pocket. He is not a pocket passer. And I try to tell people that. I'm like, dude, he's not a pocket passer. He can't. He needs coaching. And that's not a bad thing. But that's why I thought LaFleur was I think was the one at fault because you know what Jordan Love is. You should know what he is. He's not a good quarterback. Josh Jacobs should have been the main guy for Green Bay.
They should have ran the damn ball.
They should have ran.
He got that burst. I was like, God.
Dude,
and that's why I picked Green Bay. And that's why I picked Green Bay. I was like, dude, I hate
that one play was definitely an angry run for sure.
But you notice that the entire for most of the game, even though that was like those bursts that Jacobs had, they were focused on Jacobs. They weren't focused on Love. They were making sure
they knew they got to stop him.
That's really the real honest reason also too, like why they didn't score more than 10 points is because they made sure they were really trying to make sure Jacobs did not do that. And the one something they did, they were like regroup, like get all this shit. But to go back to what Jeff's saying about AJ Brown, I'll be honest, I'd much rather have him reading a freaking book that calms his fucking mind than him fucking yelling at the quarterback, the coach, and all that shit. Because let's face it, we know as good Christian men, we know we have tempers and we know that we could go off if we really, really wanted to, but they tell us.
Yeah, his therapist probably telling him to do that shit because he's been acting a fool most of the time.
He might have high blood pressure. We don't know, Jeff. Yeah. They might have told him that might be an easier way to calm yourself down. And hey, for me, what I saw it as afterwards, like there was of course a frustration of you're not getting the ball enough because Jalen's just played bad. Let's be honest, he was out for 3 weeks with a concussion. So his first game back, he was terrible. Jalen Hurts was not good at all. This was not a Jalen Hurts game. So he calmed down. He read the book. He calmed down. And if you notice, he was all happy and chipper when freaking Saquon was fucking running down the ball. And then inside the side, he was like, bro, what the fuck? Keep on running. What you doing? Like, that was like the more positive.
He slid so early. Like, holy hell.
Dude, my boy Jalen had a parlay bet where he just needed him to hit a 20-yard rush. And him stopping at 17 just, killed the parlay. So... But no, I think
guy.
What's that?
Another guy I need to talk about because like the Philly fans, like I don't know, man. They're
crazy.
Did you see that one video?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he
got banned by life. Eagles banned him.
Banned for life, and his company that he works for is talking about doing something about it.
Good.
Yeah, they might terminate him. Mm-hmm.
That's dude. I feel like all Philly fans.
No
like
fan
that,
should ever be like that to anybody.
Hell no, dude.
I don't get it
because the girl she was just cheering for her team,
chilling.
bro. Like, she was not saying nothing to.
She wasn't aggravating him. Now, mind you, I haven't seen the whole video where maybe she was saying something.
We don't know that she might have said it beforehand either. Yeah.
But still, even then, like first off, you don't talk to a woman like that, like at all. Mm-hmm. Second of all, like, dog, you're at a game, just enjoy the game, bro.
Especially but now y'all never seen y'all never seen that always
winning. That's what I'm saying. Especially if your team's winning, he's literally banned for life.
The girl was happy for one fucking yard. They were talking about, he got the yard.
Yeah.
Nah, people in Philly for some reason they're unstable. That there was that Bradley Cooper movie, and then Always Sunny. Like Philly people are not all
Always
there.
Sunny is so
Because
good.
they haven't won because that city smells like fucking rats. People are fucking unemployed. They got fans from like the other states that never been to Philadelphia. I'm like, bro, how the fuck are you Philly fans?
Bro, I couldn't tell if you're talking about Philly or LA teams.
Yep.
I thought he was
Same,
talking
same
about New
thing.
York.
Same thing.
No, Philly fans are the
I thought he was talking about
worst
New
fans.
York, bro.
New
They're
York,
like-
Miami.
And then what's crazy is Philly fans are the unemployed people that like have all the time of the day to fucking go to a game at fucking 3:00 in the afternoon. Like, motherfucker, don't you work? Like, really? I'm talking about not just Philly, like Philadelphia Eagle fans,
Like
baseball.
baseball.
Baseball fans. Because I'm like, how the fuck are you getting a day?
First
Like,
off,
don't you got work, motherfucker?
that's every baseball team. I still don't understand how fans can go to those games like that.
Yeah, 2.
No, watch the Philly man.
They're in a game at 1:00 on a fucking Tuesday. It's like,
I wish I
are
had
you
my lunch
are
break.
you on your lunch break, bro? Like, what are you doing, dog?
Bro, I get scared freaking taking a lunch break at a barber shop just to get a haircut during the week. God damn. And these motherfuckers are at a baseball game the next 4 or 5 hours. Jeez.
I don't know, man. I was really like, as much as I hate Green Bay, I was hoping Green Bay fucking hit him in the mouth. But
Now Philly has a good team.
Is your hate for the Eagles just a fandom or what? Like,
it's
'cause
everything.
You really you said they wouldn't make the playoffs. They were your
Look.
15, 16 best team
Hold
midway
up.
through the season, even though they only had 2 losses. Like, what is it about Philly that you just hate them so much?
because
Not even your division.
Jose, you talked about Jalen earlier, right?
Okay.
Jalen, I was taking through TikTok and I don't even follow him. It just goes through for
that's
you.
wrong. You should. He's awesome. Like, he's a good guy.
So
Who? Jalen Hurts?
So-
No, my buddy Jalen West.
he wishes he was Jalen Hurts. But
wow. Why you gotta take shots at him like that? What
because I hate, dude, I'm telling you, I hate Philly fans, man. I really do. Because check it out. I was scrolling and then for some reason I was like, he looked familiar. I was like, oh, I think I know him. He's from the other pod, right? Maybe I've been on the podcast with him before, but I don't remember. Anyways, I was scrolling and then I heard him say something to a Washington fan. I heard him say one of the reasons why they lost to Washington was because they had Kenny Pickett and they didn't have Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I was
like, are you fucking? I was like, are you serious? Like, Kenny Pickett did not play bad against Washington. It was not Kenny Pickett's fault. But he was trying to throw it out that it was.
He was saying that the offense wasn't complete.
Oh my god! It wasn't the offense that fucking blew it. It was the defense, the number 1 defense that was ranked in the NFL.
I understand what you're saying because he agreed with that. First of all, he agreed that the defense freaking just let lay an egg.
Yeah,
but it is a difference when you have your starting QB out there versus your backup QB that was a disaster in a different organization.
Why? What's Hurts gonna do? A throw for 150 yards?
I mean, shit. Maybe if they hadn't freaking focused so much on throwing the ball, they ran it more. Who knows?
I don't know, but I hate it because they.
So wait. Did you hear the Washington fan that also said that they were gonna mollywop the whole fucking franchise? The same fan that said, "Yeah, we're gonna fucking spank Lamar and the Ravens 30-10." Blah blah blah. And they said that they're gonna go all the way to the Super Bowl. Yeah. So you see, you're only hearing one fucking narrative. You're not putting a full context to a full story. So you're just
because
that's what I'm saying.
I hear.
Every fandom's fucking crazy, Alex.
I had to turn. I was like, I can't hear this anymore. I was like, there's no way. I started listening to my boy Drewski. I was like, I'm gonna watch some of his shit, his shorts.
All right, well, let's go to that game, Washington and Tampa Bay.
Buccaneers, probably the best game of the weekend, 23-20. The Buccaneers choke at home, being the only home team to lose to a road team. Baker Mayfield. Hey, he trucked Bobby Wagner. That was fucking impressive. I'll say that.
Yeah, Baker can play.
Baker could play. Mike Evans won the war over Marshawn Lattimore, but in the end, Jaden Daniels Man, that kid's good. That kid's good.
Yeah.
I know Alex don't like Washington. He says they suck and they were going to learn their lesson this weekend, but they said, nah, not now. No, not today.
They're gonna learn it this weekend, but yeah.
Hey, that's fine. You can learn it when you're the final 8. It's a lot better than when you're
Hell
the
yeah.
14. So, Jeff, how did you feel about the game, bro?
Nah, it was big for Washington, right? Like, I'm not the biggest Washington fan, but I do like the way Jaden Daniels plays, and like once that game started, I was like, oh, like yeah, it was. That's why it was Sunday Night Football, right? Like, either team could have won, right? You got Baker, you got Mike Evans, but I don't know. I think since Jaden Daniels is a rookie, I think that's a big difference, right? Because even though they go on their sophomore slump like CJ Stroud, but that rookie season, you can still make that magic happen, right? Like you don't even know what you're fully doing yet, and you're just going crazy. And I think that's what won it, right? He just can always go and run and get those yards, and they got a good team, like they got a competent defense or whatever. But yeah, they matched up good with Tampa Bay. They're on that level. But once they get to that next, they can't match up against the Detroit, right? But yeah, it was a fun game. That man, when I saw it live, that kick, I was like, man, that looked like he missed it by a mile. I can't believe that fucking hit the pole and went in. That boink, that doink, that was crazy, man. I did not think that was going in, and it was so close, right? It wasn't even that far of a kick. But yeah, that guy obviously has like OCD or whatever.
Oh,
but
you
man,
saw that? I was just about to mention that.
but man, that's
his hair
not
like 18 times, and it's so funny because I was watching it live. I was like, "Why does he keep fixing his fucking hair, bro?" And then they mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh." Well, then I saw a video of him fucking with his sock. Did you see that one?
nah.
So he took off his shoe, and he had to make sure that the line across, like how it has a line across the top of your toes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he had to make sure that was straight. And then he went to put his shoe back on and then he fixed it again. And then he went to put his shoe back on and fixed it again. I was like, good
Damn.
Lord, dog, how long does it take you to get it ready in the morning, B?
Yeah. You can't feel too confident as I don't know. It comes out as looking nervous, right? He looked nervous,
100%.
and then he doinked it in. So you're like, ooh, I don't know if that's gonna work,
His
in
hair
the
was
long
falling
run.
off.
But I'm wondering if that's like his tick. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
his nervous tick.
Like, how can you fix your hair before you put on your helmet? Your helmet's gonna mess up your hair no matter what.
No, sir. Not always.
Trey, how impressed were you with Jaden Daniels, bro?
He's good. I think he should be rookie of the year, honestly. He played a great game. He's had a great season.
God damn, change your vote already? It's already the season award.
I'm being realistic. I would love Bo to win, but I don't think that's realistic.
Wow.
But I mean, he played pretty damn good all year, man. He really did.
All right. Alex, what about you? Did Washington do anything to change your mind about them, or you still think they're ass?
No, I still think they're a priority franchise. I really do. I mean, yeah, you beat the Tampa Bay Bucks. I like Baker Mayfield. I think we would have had a better game if it would have been Tampa and Detroit, honestly. But
Our Chris Godwin was there, right?
Well, if Tampa had won, they would have played Philly.
Oh, true.
So,
but yeah, we don't want to. But nobody wants to see Washington and Detroit play. I mean, honestly,
who's that? Just you? Because I hear a lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
By the way, to be fair, you're the only one that I've heard being so negative about Washington that they're like they're not a 12-win team. Like they're just ass. Like
I mean, we just talked about the doink
from the Hail Mary. Oh shit.
We brought that up too. I mean, the Hail Mary. There's I think Washington. What do they call the heart attack team or the heartbreak team? Because they always wait to the very last moment to win the game.
I think we lost Jose. Look at him.
He's juicy.
I was gonna say, is he freezing in and out?
He was frozen for a good 30 seconds.
I thought I saw that too, but I was like, maybe I'm just tripping.
Now, yeah, that's why you pinpointed. Jose. That's why he hates Washington. That damn Hail Mary. But like, yeah, they hadn't won a playoff game since 2005.
Okay,
like, damn.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him for that. I mean, I don't hate him for that. I mean, I think what Dan Quinn did to the defense was pretty good. I mean, they started the year pretty like one of the worst defenses in the league, and then Jaden Daniels has a good beginning of the year. and then they like switch roles where Jaden Daniels' game started to come down a little bit, and the defense started to elevate a little bit more. So I guess it was the right timing for that team, where vice versa, where one was digressing, one was getting better. Um, I don't know. I mean, Jaden Daniels didn't have a great playoff game. I mean, he did what he had to do. He did what the defense gave him. You know what I mean? Which is pretty good, pretty impressive for a rookie. But for them to for me to change my vote for both to Jaden, I'm not gonna do that because of one playoff game.
And what were you going to say, Trey?
Do what?
I thought you were going to say something a while ago. No.
Oh no, I was just talking about the Hail Mary. I was gonna laugh at it.
No, because what? Like y'all didn't vote him as y'all's rookie of the year or what?
Did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was the only one. I was the only one.
I only
Everybody
said
else went with Bo.
I only said Bo because I'm a homer.
Oh, yeah, true.
Which he also played really well this year.
Yeah, he did. He did. But Jaden Daniels, I think with the rushing and everything.
I think Jaden Bo had a really good stretch after those first 5 games, give or take. He had a really good stretch after that. Jaden had a good stretch pretty much the whole year except for one game. You know?
Yeah,
so
like a longer.
There was that time where because of the rib injury, if y'all remember, that was where he was playing bad.
Dude, did you see that Bo was playing
again.
with three basically like a broken back essentially?
Like
that report?
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, go watch it. He said for the Browns game he wasn't gonna miss that game because it was his first Monday night game. But he had a broken back basically from the game before on.
God.
I can't remember who he played.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
so they were showing some highlights. He threw that 193-yard Mims touchdown. He threw a couple long balls, and they're like, "Damn, dude! Like, it's kind of impressive." So
yeah,
that's the game that Jerry Judy went off, right?
Yeah,
That's fucking crazy.
So that's crazy, right? Like fucking broken back.
Hopefully that doesn't long-term injury, bro.
I hope not. Well, he said after a couple games he was good. He said he got rest, but it's pretty trippy to hear about.
Yeah, that's not easy. That's definitely not easy to handle.
No, fuck no. Especially as the quarterback twisting and turning, and he runs a good amount too.
I mean, I don't know what much was said when I freaking cut out. Everyone froze over and then went black screen. I got scared. Thank God I have YouTube on the side to make sure y'all are still good. So I was like, thank God it's just me. But I think Dan Quinn left a lot of points on the board. Not only that, like going a lot for some fourth downs just to make things. I don't know. Trey's trying to make me think I'm frozen again.
I think there was a fourth. Was that the one, or was that another game where like, what game was that where they went for 4th and 6 like on the first drive? Oh, it was the Texas game, UT. Mm-hmm. God, that was dumb. That was real. That just showed like that you weren't like. It showed that you were a little scared when they went for it on 4th and 6 on that first drive. Like, just kick the damn field goal, or if not, punt it. Your defense is playing crazy. Punt it. You know what I mean? But yeah,
it was an F, Joe. The pedigree from Quinyon Mitchell to Cooper DeGene was F. Why are you asking me? I'm on a podcast. Go talk to your mother. I better gotta go take my son potty. Wait, you're going in here? Get the fuck out! Go ahead. Go. Okay, I will be right back.
Okay.
Alex, take over.
What are we done with all the games, or is there any more games? The Denver game?
I was just about to talk about the Denver game. People were already. Who do you think had a better game? Because I saw a bunch of talk about Denver, or the Bills or the Ravens. Who had the more impressive win?
Are the Ravens? The Bills beat. It was the Bills and Denver, right? Yeah. And then who did the Ravens beat?
They beat the Steelers.
The Steelers. Man, I don't know. That's hard, right? Because the Steelers are reeling 5 straight losses. They weren't, we all knew that they were a decent team, but they weren't like, I don't know. I wasn't worried about the Pittsburgh Steelers at all. And then, I guess you have to give it to the Bills for handling Denver, right? They have a badass defense and they beat them pretty. I guess, the Bills had the better win. I talked myself into it. What about you, Trey?
Yeah, I would say so, because you kind of look at our defense, and honestly, like we it should have been a closer game, right? Like on that
It should have
one
been.
Cortland Sutton should have caught it over the middle. We should have easily made that field goal, if not a touchdown, on that final drive before the half. Um, we came out kind of sluggish in the second half and didn't do anything. So overall, I think we should have played a better game. So I think that win was um, a little bit more, I guess, not explosive, but our defense, they killed our defense completely. And we were a top 3 defense all year, pretty much, or top 5 defense all year. So I would say that's a more impressive win.
Okay, so Jeff just left us, the one and
Yeah.
only. But I only say that because what's his name? Stephen A. Smith was talking about it today, and he was kind of giving Dan Orlovsky uh, kind of like, see, I told you so. That the Ravens had a better game and Lamar had a better game than Josh Allen and the Bills, because he said that they said, like, you let the Denver Broncos go on your first drive on their first drive and score. To me, it's starting to sound like some of the media is only going. I don't want, like, I don't know if I can say it, but like doing kind of comparing them because by their skin their skin color, because
Mm.
like Stephen A rides with Lamar Jackson like hard right now.
I
He really
mean,
is.
I don't I don't think it was. I'm trying to think how to say this. I don't think Lamar and them had a bad game. Obviously, like their scheme worked really well. There was that one play that they replayed over and over, that Derrick Henry touchdown, where it was a read option by Lamar, and he obviously held it in Derrick Henry's gut a long time, and then cut left, and you could see 3 defenders like lined up with him. So like that's a great option, like a scheme. You know what I mean? Like you have 2 explosive players, let alone not even including your tight end and receivers. So I'm not gonna knock the Ravens for what they did. Again, the Steelers are a decent defense too, and they fucking ran all over them and scored all over them and destroyed them basically. So I don't know. I think overall it's a good game.
So your
At
decision over
least
to Ravens and Steelers?
Well, we
no.
were talking about the Broncos. He
Oh,
asked
okay.
which one was a better win, the Buffalo Bills over the Broncos or the Ravens over the Steelers.
I mean, my answer would be the Ravens.
See, yeah, I said the Bills because of what they did to our defense. Our defense was supposed to be
Yeah.
top 5, and they ran all over us and threw all over us.
I agree that I think that was a great like win for the Bills. The reason I go with the Ravens is because of all the narratives. They can't beat the Steelers, right?
Yeah,
Even Alex picked Steelers last week because the Mike Tomlin effect. Lamar doesn't perform well in the playoffs. So for me, like those 2 factors, like I know he said before in the interview he feels antsy going into the playoffs, but I mean that doesn't mean he didn't ball out. Like those 2 big things are like
yeah,
even with the Bills win, like we still have Josh Allen in MVP talks. So we knew that Josh Allen would be Josh Allen this game, whether it was him throwing it or him running it. James Cook, we knew that he had the possibility. Even Joe, who's in the chat right now, who said, F it, be in the room. He did, by the way. Spoiler, he did. He predicted that that James Cook this would be the James Cook game, that he would be running through the Broncos because they wouldn't be able to stop him. That line to line battle, it would be Bill's victory. So he definitely had it right there. He agrees with you guys. By the way, he said the Broncos defense was better on paper. Um,
yeah,
but I still think even with everything, like the narrative is the narrative. Like Lamar can't compete with the Steelers. That was the narrative. Lamar couldn't win big playoff games. This was a big playoff game in this situation. Divisional game in the playoffs is big. So, and Alex, when you said it last week with the whole Ohio State and Oregon game, and you mentioned it again when we were predicting this game, you don't want to see your opponents again in the playoffs or in the championships. Well, they shut that down and they were able to hold steady at home. So we're gonna have a great game next week between Bills and Broncos.
hell yeah.
Bills and Ravens. Sorry.
A lot of people are saying that we should wait for the MVP voting until after that game. Whoever wins gets it.
It would be funny if the winner of the MVP ends up being the loser of this matchup.
When
So
do they announce it?
It's
I
usually a
think
Pro
this.
Bowl weekend.
So the the question for both of you guys, because I heard it on First Take, if the both of those teams played last weekend the way they played, who do you think would win? So if the Ravens played the way they played last weekend against the Steelers versus the Bills the way they played against this weekend, who do you think had the better game, or who would win if they would have played last week?
If they had played last week, I'd still have the Ravens because I think that hard read, bro, of trying to figure out who's gonna have the ball between Derek and Lamar is so tough. And I know that they didn't have their full roster, the Bills defense wise, when they played them the first time, but that still was an ass whooping. And even then, like, there's still part of me that thinks that this weekend the Ravens will win by more than 7 points, which I know it's a heavy ask, especially for how good the Bills have been this year. But I do think it's possible. So I, regardless of if it was last week, next week, today, I got Ravens, bro.
Okay, and I guess before we go to the other games, a quick round of applause for our buddy Trey and his team. Uh, the Broncos played absolute crazy season this year. I mean, kudos to them, Sean Payton, and what they did with the cap, right? They had this year dead last, I think, in cap, and they fucking
Yep.
made the playoffs again.
Ranked 31st and 32nd in most rankings. Worst offense, worst roster.
Yeah,
Pretty much last place in cap space. Rookie quarterback, second year head coach that they didn't think would do anything. No
yeah,
weapons, just everything, bro. All the
they,
narratives.
Yep.
That's why I said
they
in the
overachieved.
that's why I said in the text thread, man. Like I honestly didn't. I would have loved to win that game, the playoff game, for
Yeah.
sure. But I didn't care that much because we've
We're
already
supposed to be there.
exceeded. We've
Yeah,
already exceeded where I thought we were going to be. What did most people had us at 5.5 wins or something like that? We ended up getting 10.
You
Like,
weren't even. Hey, by the way, this weekend you weren't even the worst team out there.
yeah,
Out of all the teams that lost and everything, you were not the worst team.
yeah. So,
I
and
don't think so, at least.
that's what we were talking about when you had to go. Is in reality, it would have been a difficult challenge, but we could have won that game on that last drive before halftime. We should have scored, if not made that field goal. It'd have been a tied game. We came out real lazy in the second half, but we could have easily won that game with a couple catches and a made field goal. You know what I mean? So
and
again,
then not to tell you, not to put up. I mean, the fake punt also.
dude, that was a
They
crazy
missed.
play call.
They messed. I mean, I was
And,
like, man, they had the momentum. They lost momentum,
yep.
but not.
And then
You
we
know, they didn't get
punted
the first
fucking 4
down.
plays later.
Yeah,
Trey,
So
you basically get the full effect of what it's like to see a Patriots play the Bills.
touche.
Since post Brady, that's
Yeah.
literally how we. That's literally how we lose to them. We can
Yeah.
keep up with them for the
I mean,
first half,
again, they're a
for the most
fucking
part, and
good
then
team,
they just
great
whoop our
team.
asses in a second.
So
Yeah,
so again, I am very overjoyed with this coming off season.
you'll
We need a
still have
couple.
you'll still have
We
dead cap problems next year, but I mean you'll
Yeah,
still be
the
improving.
only thing that I was reading into is our future. Like once like gets to like 2027 and on, because we gave up a lot, obviously. But I'm not too worried about it because I think they'll make some moves this offseason for sure. They already saw how Bo played. They already saw how our team is. Hopefully, we sign a couple of our free agents. I got a couple in mind, and then hopefully our draft goes like my mock draft, and we kill it right then and there.
I don't. By the way, I don't think y'all will be getting T Higgins. To be fair, and the only
I
reason
don't.
I say that is because of the cap space
And
fight.
I'm okay with that. I'm honestly okay with not getting T. Higgins. He would be a great asset, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
But I'm okay with not having him. Again, I've already mentioned, like, if we can get a Godwin, cool. Or if we just draft somebody, we have a decent receiving core. Like, they're not
Well,
terrible.
I'll be honest with you. With your core right now, I don't think they'll. I think you'll get a wide receiver, but like a late rounder. I don't think it'll be like a priority one at all.
No, I
I
think
think
priority
your
is
lines
running
will,
back, tight end, and some on the defense.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
our offensive line was pretty fucking badass this year.
Your run
Quarterback,
defense is need some
obviously.
work.
Our defense needs a little bit of work, like in linebacker areas and so on. That's what I'm saying. For the most part, like we need a tight end and running back on offense, and then a little bit on the defense, and we're good.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, no bullshit. That mock draft I sent y'all would be like a wet dream to me. Tyler Warren from Penn State, first round. What's his Bond from UT receiver, and then Scatterbo from Arizona State as running back. It don't matter what the rest of the draft
In
is.
one simulator, I had like Cam, like I could pick him up in the 4th round. I was like, God damn, I don't think he's gonna go that low. Like,
No, I don't think so either. I think he'll be I would
day
say an
2.
early to mid third.
I think he'll be a day 2 guy,
You
not
think
day
so?
3.
I could see him being a day 2, but I would say
Well,
early day
because the
3.
simulators that Trey sent us, Alex, the other day, it was projecting Cam to be like a day 3 or 4th round pick.
Yeah. I think
And
he'll be an early day 3.
I think he'll be a day 2, like a 2nd and 3rd round pick.
I mean, I could see it. So
I don't know if it'll fall to 4, especially with
no, I
like
definitely doubt he'll fall to
there's a
4.
lot of teams that are realizing shit.
You need a
We need running backs badly. Like look at fucking the Raiders. They fucking gave up Josh Jacobs and were like the worst run team in the league this year.
Terrible.
They were like Zamir White, Alexander Massett,
and of course, it didn't help their offense at all.
no. So I mean, it just made everything worse on top of the need on quarterback. But what else? What other games do we need to run down, guys, before we do predictions?
I think that was it.
I think we hit on all.
We did the Ravens and Steelers, but
yeah,
we talked enough about the coaching problems and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think we're good with predictions.
All right,
Yeah.
I think So let's. I know Jeff had to run out. I know he was something to meet me, so we'll do it with the 3-man here. So, all right, guys, what's actually the first game of the weekend? Y'all remember? Top of your heads? No.
I think it's is it the Houston game?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't looked at all.
You
so I
might
don't
be.
know.
You might be right. Hold on.
I think it is the Houston and
Yep. Okay. So
the ref that's undefeated with Patrick Mahomes.
all right.
I saw that too, but I wasn't gonna start it. Because
I did too.
I don't give a fuck. I want to upset Marco.
He said annoying.
All right, predicting the divisional round matchups. First game up, it's Texans at Chiefs, with the Chiefs being 8-point favorite. Trey, who do we got?
I really want Houston. I really do. Is it realistic? Not really. But ironically, to me, and I get it, this is an 8-point favorite, but to me, it's 50-50. Because Houston's defense, they can play, bro. So I'm gonna be ballsy. I'm gonna go Houston. Screw it. I'm gonna go Houston.
You dirty girl.
I'm gonna be a dirty girl.
I do think the Texans will cover. I think they won't lose by 8. I think that's one of the betting things all year long is that Kansas City has not been able to cover all year long. So I do think Texans will be able to make sure of that. But give me the Chiefs. I don't they're the AFC championship, minimum. If this is the Bengals or Bills, maybe the Ravens, any of those 3 teams, different story. But the Texans, thank you for your time this year. Alex?
So if the Texans would have lost, who would they played? The Chiefs,
the Chargers. They would have played the Chargers.
Yeah, they'd have played the Chargers.
Thank
The
God.
only one
Houston
that would have
won,
been
though.
different if it's the Broncos won. The Broncos won, they would have played us.
Oh my God! Wow.
Could you imagine that though? That's what everybody was saying is the Broncos. Obviously, it's not realistic, but their road to the Super Bowl was almost impossible. It was the Bills first, then it would have been the Chiefs, then it would have been the Ravens or something like that to get to the Super Bowl. Dude, could you imagine that fucking road? Oh my God!
So
Terrible.
I'm gonna go with the guy that has the refs on his side most of the time. No, I mean, this is what everybody wanted at the beginning of the year. CJ Stroud versus Patrick Mahomes. The only guy, a lot of people said the only guy that could compete with Patrick Mahomes is CJ right now. And I think it was you. I don't know if it was you or somebody else that I heard say, if I had another quarterback to dethrone Patrick, it was going to be CJ. Well, you got your wish, but I mean, CJ's going in there with his JV squad and on the offense. I mean, hopefully Tunsil could fucking go up here and protect them. if what's his name, Joe Mix could get the ball going, get the ball rolling, CJ probably not gonna have to do much like he did last
I'll
week.
say this, bro. If Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter can hurt Patrick
Yes,
Mahomes, oh my
they got a
god,
shot.
this
I'm saying that.
this O line's not
that
as strong as years past.
no, that's the only way this Houston team got a shot. They got to create turnovers. They have to create turnovers to beat Patrick Mahomes. And Mahomes, I know he has a turnover bug during the regular season, but during the postseason, he starts to hang on to the ball a bit more. He doesn't get careless with the ball in the postseason. And dude, this is tough because I'm with Trey. I want Houston to win because we don't want Kansas City back up there. But it's hard. It's really hard to choose against Kansas City because nobody has beaten them in the postseason in 2 years now. Fuck it, man. It might be the year. I don't know. Nah, it can't be the year. It can't.
You're gonna say Houston of all the teams you're gonna pick to beat them. You're gonna pick Houston.
It can't be Houston, right? Because look at the team they're rolling with. I mean, their offense isn't. No, fuck it. I'm gonna go with Houston too. I'll go ballsy.
What the fuck?
No, you know what? I'll switch it. I'm gonna go KC only because the TikTok people say that I'm not good at picking teams, so I'm gonna do that.
You went 1-5 last week.
He's reverse psychology in it. I like it.
Let me give you KC.
My man.
Oh my god! There's a guy who's talking shit about
Alex
us.
is like KC by 82.
Yeah,
there was a guy on TikTok
give
talking
KC
shit
the cover.
to us. The cover. There's a guy on TikTok talking shit to us like, yeah, what now, guys? The other Houston won. See, y'all are fucking wrong. Fucking trashy podcast on. So I was like, trust me, guy, no one's gonna be picking Houston next week. Motherfuckers out here already betraying me in every way.
I pick KC. Against Patrick Mahomes.
Go against them in the AFC Championship game. That'll be more fun. All right, then we got.
But sorry to cut you off. Either way, it's gonna be fun because you think about it. It's either gonna be KC versus Buffalo or KC versus Baltimore, or Houston versus Buffalo or Houston versus Baltimore.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if Houston has to play one of those other two teams, they're gonna get their ass.
Oh, for sure. But I'm just saying, like overall, I'm not mad at any of those games.
Who's gonna be the first one to text in the thread once if KC goes down?
It's not Marco because he'll be at the game.
Oh, damn. Look at Trey.
Okay, move on. God, I know you're there.
This is literally Thanos losing right now. It could possibly be where Thanos loses.
All right,
that'd be so glorious.
Well, Thanos is Tom Brady. This is a Black Panther trying to come back to life. Commanders at Lions. Detroit is a 9.5 favorite. Big game for the Commanders to try to one up. Lions get a rest, well-deserved rest coming into this game. Alex, I'm gonna start with you. Who do you got?
Dude, I don't know. This is reverse psychology thing got me thinking. It really does. But dude, I want the Lions to go to the NFC Championship, and I already know who I'm gonna pick on the other division on the other side because it will be glorious to see that. Glorious to see what you already know what I'm thinking about.
We saw it last year. We don't need to see it again.
The trip to the Super Bowl would be perfect.
We saw it last year. We don't need to see it. Hell, we saw it for week 1 this year. We do not need to see it again.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
For a trip to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'd rather see the two best NFC teams go at it versus the freaking storyline. The Lions are already 2-0 against them. Jared Goff already got his revenge twice. Like, we don't need round 3, bro. We don't.
Hey, didn't Pacquiao and who got 3 fights? Was it Pacquiao and who's that?
Mayweather?
Wasn't Mayweather. It was
Cotto?
I don't remember. They fought 3 times, but
and so what?
We could see another.
The fuck, we don't
could
want to see all that, bro. Come on, man. Go give me that bullshit. Stop hating on the Eagles, all right? Like, goddamn, they're the second best team in the NFC right now. Stop your hating, bro. Stop it.
They got all pros.
What? Who?
At,
So what if the freaking general managers are good at his fucking job? What?
what? No, I'm not saying that. They got all pros that don't even have the same stats as certain other players, and they're fucking all pros just because they play for the Eagles. That's crazy.
Oh my god. Jay, who do you got this weekend? Commies or Lions?
I'm going Detroit.
And I too will be going for the Lions. I think Cinderella story is done for the Commies. Hell of a season though.
Great
Bright
season.
future. Yep. Hey, there's gonna be teams, there's gonna be players that don't want to go over there.
Yep.
So culture's changing. Magic Johnson's part of the ownership now over there. They got rid of the
Dan Quinn looking nice as a head coach again.
Micah Parsons might be a commie soon. We never know.
That would be insane, actually.
Follow his old DC out there to play for him. That'd be nuts. But we'll see how that goes. So I think we got a sweep here. All right. First game for Sunday. Rams at Eagles, with the Eagles being a 6-point favorite. I'll start it off because I already know where Alex is going to go because he already spoiled it. Give me the Eagles. They are thriving out here, and I don't think the Rams play good in the cold. I keep saying that they have to travel across the country. They don't play well in the cold. They're not a cold climate team. This is where they're gonna fall to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right on.
Trey?
Right.
I'm going Eagles. I think LA used up all their let's do it for LA this last game. So I'm taking all Eagles.
All right, Alex. We got.
I'm also gonna use the reverse psychology on this one. I'm gonna pick the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm just you do realize I'm just gonna put who you really want to win on the damn fucking post.
If it happens, I'm gonna fucking laugh.
I think reverse psychology is gonna laugh at you and say, "No, well, we're gonna make you right this time."
Oh, you know what people are gonna do? They're gonna be like, "Oh, y'all just pick the favorites."
Oh no, don't trust me. When I make the post, you're gonna have Rams on your logo. Don't worry. You'll have the Rams logo on your name. Don't worry. We know who you really want. We know
I
you
didn't
hate
pick
the
a
Eagles.
favorite.
Huh?
Yeah, people say that a lot.
I said I didn't pick a favorite.
Yeah,
no, I'm just saying people would say that.
Oh yeah.
All right. And main event, which is rightfully so, the last game of the weekend. Ravens at Bills with the Ravens being a 1-point favorite. Alex, who do you got?
I'm spending that 1-point favorite.
Who do you got?
I got Buffalo. It's the one man Josh Allen's in. Dude, I don't know. I this is really hard. It's like the freaking college football game. It's 50-50, right? But who are you gonna edge out? I'll edge out Josh Allen. The running backs, you could pick. The Ravens got the better running back for sure. The receiving core is probably 50-50, honestly. Maybe edging out the Ravens a little bit more with Zay Flowers. The defense, I don't know. The defense kind of 50-50 because the Ravens defense hasn't been all that.
Since the bye week and they pushed back Kyle Hamilton to free safety.
Oh, Kyle Hamilton has been really good. Yeah.
So
didn't somebody say Kyle Hamilton was bad? Was a bad defensive back or something like that?
No, Milton had questions about Kyle Hamilton. He didn't think he was all that with the hype.
Bro,
he didn't say it was bad though. Yeah,
he's a big fucking defensive
safety
back. Like really, yeah, he's big. You can play everywhere on the field, but yeah, I'm at the edge it out to the Buffalo Bills. They've beaten both number 1 seeds on each conference. How could you go against that, right?
Because they lost to them.
Or to the Ravens?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the best team in the conferences were. Oh, that brings it up too. Like, don't you want to get your get back? Just like you don't want to play the team again twice.
Yeah, they beat them by 25. I don't know. I don't know how much. Like I said, I think the Ravens are going to win by more than one score. I do think that. I legitimately, the Ravens are that good. And by the way, the last 2 years, the Bills have lost at home. That's how they got eliminated. Last year by the Chiefs, and then the year before that by the Bengals. Now, last year was an embarrassing loss. The year before that was an embarrassing loss to the Bengals. So, I don't know. We'll see. That the Bills haven't gone to a conference championship game since COVID. So, let's throw that out there, too. That it's been a minute since they've actually gone back to a conference championship game. So, my pick is easy. It's the Ravens. So, Trey, you're the tiebreaker. Who do you got here, bro?
Ravens. I'm going Ravens.
Okay. Explain why for me, sir.
I just think that they're a little. Don't get me wrong. Buffalo's nice. They've been playing really good offensively and defensively. I just think the double-headed snake of Henry and Jackson is almost too much for anybody to stop. So
I like it.
Who has the most pressure?
Both.
This is
I think
yeah.
even.
Both of them do. Because you can't say that the Ravens don't have anything right now. Like, you can't give that excuse that they don't have weapons. And it's kind of the same with Josh Allen. You can't say that he doesn't have the talent around him to an extent and the defense. So
I counter you this. The Ravens were expected to be here, right?
So were the Bills, though.
No.
There's honestly, like, if you really, like, 50-50. I know a lot of the TikTok media, like us, said Dolphins and Jets could win the division, but a lot of people did have the Bills to go as far as the conference championship, despite losing Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
So I don't, and you gotta remember too, with losing a lot of defensive pieces like the DC, Patrick Queen, and other stuff, people downgraded the Ravens' chances as well, even despite getting Derrick Henry. People were questioning that O-line too. And that O-line made sure freaking TJ Watt didn't get a tackle or a sack last week. So,
yeah, that's pretty good.
So,
I didn't even know TJ Watt was playing. I didn't hear his name.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, right? So, I think it's 50-50. I think both. That narrative is going to be bad for whoever loses. Yeah. Let's just go with that. It's just going to be bad. Well, Lamar's 3-5. Oh, well, Josh Allen can't get back to a championship game. You know, it's going to be whatever, Alex. And while us, real fans that we're watching know better, watch this. If the Bills lose, freaking Marco's going to come on here next week and he's going to say, see, this is why we should never have Josh Allen in the MVP talks. Love you, Marco. But it's true, right? Because he said that earlier in the season when I had him as my honorable mention in the midseason awards. And he got mad at me for it. And where is he now? Possibly going to win it.
No.
So I don't know, man. It's crazy. I always think, like, how the fuck are we getting this game as a semifinals, right?
It's nuts, right?
Yeah, like,
I mean, 15-12. That's 15-2. That's why.
I was about to say that, like, but you can't get really mad because Kansas City earned that spot, earned it, right?
We can say it last year too, right? Ravens got the first round bye and all that, and then we got Chiefs and Bills in the second round. Like I was jokingly about this last year because with the people's debate text thread, last year's Final Four and the NFC are the same Final Four this year. Last year it was Houston versus Baltimore and Buffalo versus KC.
Oh shit!
This year it's Houston versus KC and Buffalo versus Baltimore.
I didn't even think about that actually.
So I said next year's divisional round will be Baltimore versus KC and Houston versus Buffalo.
That's funny.
Imagine that happens. I want Cincy back in, but hey, that'd be funny.
I want Denver in.
Yeah, we all got our narratives, and of course, Alex wants the Chargers in.
I don't even think the Chargers are ready to win next year. I don't even they were ready to win this year.
No, I'm saying, but going to the divisional round. I'm not saying to win. I'm just saying to go to the divisional round.
No, I don't even think they'll make the playoffs next year. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs this year.
Hell yeah, bro. They got a second place schedule next year, so that'll be a little tougher for them. But yeah, good shit, guys. Good shit. Definitely missed the homies here. Wish we can get more predictions out here, but understand the circumstances. Jeff was falling asleep on the pod. It wasn't just bad connection by me, and then James taking care of family. But I'm hoping Marco sends us some good videos, and I'm gonna message his girlfriend see if she can get a sad reaction of him if they lose. Just
Damn.
just to see. I just want to see. Marco, we just need to know, bro. We all get sad when our teams lose the playoffs. Some of us don't know that experience because some of us don't make the playoffs. As like me right now, I don't know what that experience life is anymore. But all right, guys.
Imagine losing on a fucking double doink.
Yeah. Trey, you got an embarrassing loss out there you want to talk about?
Not at all, sir. Pretty sure everybody knows my embarrassing loss.
No, they don't know.
Super Bowl 48, sir.
They don't know.
Holy fuck! That was you, Trey?
Yeah. Super Bowl 48, sir.
Where was that at?
My my wife, but we were dating her house.
Yeah.
You were watching the game over there?
Me and James were both there. We didn't know each other.
That's why we laugh, because him and James were both there. That just nobody knew each other then.
Yeah.
Let's just say, Alex, I brought a lot of people together, friends wise.
More people were talking about the freaking halftime show with Bruno Mars than they were about the game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, I knew. Ironically, how he said earlier, Rob said earlier about him knowing pretty much the first drive. I knew from our first drive when we fumbled it out the end zone that it was game over. So.
Oh, shit. A lot of people won money that day with that first play.
Don't tell Trey that.
That's crazy. What are the odds, though, right?
Yeah.
That shit happened. Like, that's fucking crazy.
And you just gotta believe in the Legion of Boom, and hey, that's one of the scary defense out there. And too bad they fucking fumbled their dynasty the following year.
Yeah, terrible. Real quick, actually.
Yeah. But all right, fellas. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for whoever was able to watch on live or on demand. Definitely appreciate the good times. Thank you for hopping on to the comments. Check out the People's Debate tomorrow night. They'll be talking about their award winners and their playoff predictions as well. Alex, give Jalen a shot, bro. He's not a bad Eagles fan. You heard like 5-second snippet and you gave him a bad rep. Come on, bro. Give him some love. He's a good guy. He's not one of them annoying Eagle fans. Trust me.
I saw an Eagle fan on the internet this past weekend that makes me hate the whole fucking city.
It was a white guy from Philly. A black guy from Texas.
You know what? It's that was that the husband recording?
Yeah.
Oh my dude.
That's why I said
they won the battle though. They won the battle. Like,
technically, you're right, because the Eagles organization is sending her Packers gear. So you're not wrong.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if you saw that or not.
Packers gear,
I didn't see that. That's awesome.
He might get fired, so his freaking career's done.
Yeah, they said Big Rob, who their security guy is, I guess. He identified the fan, and they're giving her a bunch of Packers gear.
Ooh, hey, come on, bro.
That's pretty cool. That's good.
That's big ups to Philly, right? Philly didn't stand by their fan, quote unquote.
No, that's a fucked up
Arizona. Arizona did a good thing too with the whole
by letting them play.
That was cool. I mean, they brought the charter. They bought the shit for like their dogs. That was cool.
Yo,
their family.
Ironic that State Farm's the insurance company that canceled.
That's what everybody was saying.
That's fucking crazy.
And then it's the State Farm Arena that's hosting it.
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying. That it's kind of fucked up.
Conspiracy, but yeah, fuck Philly fans. I hate them.
God.
But like Philly fans that live in Philly, like I hate them.
How do you hate Philly fans, but you don't hate Cowboys fans? Like I don't get that because Cowboys fans are just as bad. No,
I think Philly takes the cake on that.
Motherfuckers, they shot and killed a Patriots fan once. What are you talking about?
No, Philly fans have the worst rep than like anybody. You're an MMA fan, aren't you? Didn't you see that?
Kill my opponents.
But did you see that they're gonna do that thing where they're gonna have ex-MMA players go to Philly or something like that? Yeah. Dress up as
opposing fans. They're not going to do that.
I think they should have done that with the female fighters. That'd be funny.
That'd be pretty cool, but yeah. That should just
tell you. Trey Lions Pod says Sam to Pittsburgh. Darnold? Another bridge quarterback? I don't know if they need that. They need to find the right guy, but hey, that might be happening.
Find a franchise quarterback in Pittsburgh.
That'd be interesting, though.
I can see it happening, Alex. The way the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers have been doing it, I can see it. I don't think they're re-signing Justin Fields. I don't think so either. So where does Justin go, Alex? Where does Justin Fields go?
Shit, I don't know. Apparently, to Marco, he can't throw.
That was a 2-year-old clip. And then this year he said he can't throw. Come on, bro.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know where he could go. I mean, Atlanta. I mean, that's his. No, Atlanta. That's where he wanted to go because that's his hometown. But they look like they got their quarterback now. The Raiders. They're looking for a quarterback. That could probably be a bridge quarterback over there. But if does Tom Brady want him? I don't know. Tom Brady. We don't know what Tom Brady.
I'm glad they're letting Tom run the head coach and the players thing. I better than Mark Davis. I'd rather see someone that's actually been in the locker room. You know what I mean? So, but all right, guys, we got to go. It's been a long time. We're already 2.5 in. Trey's going sleepy. Trey.
I got to get some stuff done real quick, actually.
Hey, but guys, thank y'all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on all platforms. TikTok's dead in 7 days or 6 days, whatever it is. Good night, everybody. Peace.
Later, guys.